Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Amini Park on a beautiful day in March. At the moment, we're heading into the end of the wet season, hopefully. In the box with me today, my name's Tony. We've got Halai, and on the main camera today, we have Halai as well. So we have to differentiate there, guys. We have H and H2O. So H2O is the one with the camera, and H1, which we've abbreviated to H, he's the main man here in the box. Hello, Willie. So welcome. It's a beautiful day, as we said. We have our umpires entering the field now. Alu Kapa and Ronald Adia, two very experienced umpires, especially in the case of Alu. He's actually moving to the senior end, is that right, H? Just checking out the two teams. The toss has been won by the Cassowaries, and they have elected to bat, which in my opinion is a pretty brave move. But when you're sitting on a couple of wins already, I think they just want to get their batters to bat conservatively towards the start and then build their innings and hopefully bat out the full 20. The reason I said I was a bit surprised because it has been heavy rain, as everyone in PNG, especially Port Moresby, knows, but it's been spread nationwide. And we did have a situation earlier in the week where half the oval was covered with probably about a foot of water. So it's a great job by the groundsman here, Varney and the team, to get a very competitive pitch up and ready for the first over today. So welcome again, guys. It's going to be a great day of cricket leading to Sunday, which will be massive, absolutely massive day on Sunday. So thank you to our sponsors once more, Isuzu, Barocco Motors. Thank you for sponsoring this, because it is one of the premier events in cricket here in PNG. And of course, we have our selection, our panel also here today, looking for the talent that will take to the next level. So a lot of young players here from around the country, players from Lay, Pop and Deda, and we're ready to rock and roll. Kevu is our opening bowler. He's going to come left arm over the wicket, it looks like. H has given me the nod there. Been watching these guys practice in the nets over the last few weeks, and not a long run up on Kevu, but he has a very whippy action. Coming in for Baltavade. And typical T20 cricket there, H. Nothing is blocked in this game. And hopefully we get to the situation, guys, where they are rotating the striker around a lot. I know that Coach Tim McCastigle's been working on that, in T20 cricket we don't want too many dot balls, and we don't want us all focusing on whacking onto the onside all the time. So left arm over the wicket, Kevu coming into bowl. Well up again, the drive to the covers, and fielded successfully there. A nice shot. So 2 balls down, no runs, and they'll be happy with the start. The Mudmen really need this, even if it's a sort of a boost to their confidence. Swing and a miss there. The pad taken by the keeper. No appeal. So just checking the umpires again. It's umpire Lu, is that correct, H? And we have umpire Paul Rawali. So sorry about the misunderstanding there. We've just been clarified by the people over in the main stand area that umpire Paul Rawali is umpiring today. I think we did mention earlier, and we made a slight error with that. So apologies. Once again, we have Koa coming to bowl. Koa on the back foot pushes it to point, and once again no run. So a great start by the bowling here, the Mudmen, 4 dot balls. But Kevu hitting the middle of the bat that time, so off the back foot, punching it to point, and I'm sure with 2 balls going this over, he'll be looking to get down the other end. That time through the onside, and they did rotate the strike on that occasion. 1 run. That gets Barre off the mark, and Torre on strike, number 16. Lani Torre on strike this time. Cavu's last ball has been a great first over. A play and a miss just outside off stumper. A very successful first over for Cavu. No wickets, but only 1 run. And in 2020 cricket, that's as good as a wicket any day of the week. So well done. Good start. Didn't seem a whole lot in the over. I know we're talking to Tim McCaskill. Got the guys that cut it really short yesterday. And he was hoping that there wouldn't be too much lateral movement today. There was a tinge of green when I had a look this morning at 7 o'clock when the covers came off, but nothing too exceptional there from the left arm over the wicket, but a very, very tight over. Looks like now coming into bowl for the first over here. Tal now. Coming into bowl. He's got his field. We've got a 4 on the onside, 5 on the offside. We've got a keeper and the bowler. So a 4-5. We know about the field restrictions at the start of a 2020 match. You have to have only 2 players out. So we've got a player on the deep backward square leg boundary and 1 on the offside at the deep mid off. So interesting field placement, 4 on the offside and 3 in the circle on the onside, plus a keeper and a slip for this. So right arm around the wicket, that one's down the leg side, called a wide by the umpire, and that's 1 extra run as H puts his hand up for the first time today, signalling that wide. So hopefully we can get that ball dry. We talked about also the outfield being very soggy still. In he comes once more, now to bowl, right arm around the wicket. Well flighted, well pitched up and pushed back to the bowler, no run. Good aggressive move here to start with the off spinner coming around the wicket. Once more, this one slightly onto the leg side and well fielded at backward square leg, only the 1 run. That brings Vari up to 2, Torre on strike, left-hander facing. Right arm over the wicket. Slip in place. Ooh, a little bit of spin there. We know this pitch is renowned for its spin. That one did grip a little bit. And a lot of applause from around the bat, especially there. Well bowled. The young fella's got his line right now. When he comes once more, right arm around the wicket. Again, prodigious spin on that occasion and bounce. H is smiling, being a leg spin bowler here. He said, "Get me out there, everyone. Get me out there." Look at that. Tell you what. And he comes once more. So he's tried to beat that. That's straight up in the air. They converge on it from all angles and the catch is taken. I think the previous 2 deliveries were the one that actually caused the wicket, because batsman saying, geez, if I poke around here I'm going to go out anyway, I may as well go out swinging. So a great bowling start there. A wicket from now in his first over. 1 for 2 so far. Again, it was well pitched up. Maybe probably better off playing straighter than that, I would have thought. H hitting across the line, across the spin, of course straight up there, and the easiest of catches taken. So that's the wicket they were really after. The Mudmen needed early wickets to boost their confidence. We said they've been struggling a little bit series, but that's the wicket that will really get them thinking no one's really going to dominate us today, that we're right in this clash. New pitch, new situation, because as we said, there's been so much rain, the outfield is quite slow. I did a science experiment this morning, went for a walk and my shoes are soaked. I went right up through my socks as well, so a little bit of absorption there and absorption, and I'm going to have to get rid of my socks tonight. I can feel them squelching in my shoes. So the aerial route will be important today for sure, hitting the ball in the air if you're going to get it to the boundary line, but we'll see how things play out. We've got a nice wind blowing at the moment. We have another left-hander coming into bat, with Tom coming on this occasion. Don't see Tom. Harry boy, H is smiling there. Have I got him right there, mate? Left-hander. We got the nod going. H is excited. When the Parry name comes up, he gets very excited. So once again, the last ball of the over. I'm sure his partner's told him a little bit about what the ball's doing. Right arm around the wicket. And very carefully punched to the short cover there. Well done. A really good first up over there from Tom. From now, and Tom negotiates that first ball well. So our score at the moment, 3 overs. So we're just updating the score there. 1 for 3, 2 overs down, 1 for 3 the score. We have Cavu on 1 and Cavu coming for his second over. Interesting to see if the captain bowls him right through in this spell, or saves him for a little bit later on. Left arm over the wicket. That one pushed just backward a point, 1 run easily. Once it goes through that point level, it's close to the boundary where it's really wet. So the inner circle's not too bad. It's when we get out closer to the boundary line. Cavu's line has been impeccable to this stage of proceedings. A lot of left-handers in this Mudmen's team, H. A lot of left in the Cassowaries team. A lot of lefties. So we have left to left. Still a slip in place. Left arm over. Again, punched into the short cover. An appeal for a run out. Not out. Good cricket all round. As I said, they've got to start rotating the strike, getting the runs ticking over with only 20 rovers. It's something you just can't ingrain into the team, that you've got to keep those runs ticking over. Even if the conditions are conducive to good bowling, you've still got to get bat on ball and take a few risks. In that case, just pushed quietly to the covers, and even though it was close, it still resulted in a run. Once again, Cavu coming into bowl to Vade. Vade swings onto the onside, and that's our first boundary for the series. An aggressive shot, cow corner shot, but still 4 runs on the board. Cavu will be saying to himself, what did I do wrong there? What did I do wrong? And that's why this 2020 game is so unique, eh? Crossed the line, he pushed it onto the offside and crossed the line with the batter, and 4 runs on the board. That changes the complexion. It's over 6 runs off the first 3 balls, and in comes Cavu. Once again, aggressively pushed, not quite a whole bat on. I think we've got a little bit of bat on the pad there. They're going to come back for 2 with an overthrow. Hold the ball, nothing silly. And 2 runs there. Did he get an edge onto that one? We're waiting. Yes, he did get an edge onto that. So onto the bat onto the pad, off to the offside, and 2 runs. So well run, guys. Vade moves to 9 off 10 now, so he's moving his run rate up to nearly 1 run per we want. Cavu in. Once again, pushed onto the offside this time. Fielded, shot at the stumps, and no run. Good to see Tom backing up there in the next delivery. Time down the leg side, umpire calls a wide straight away. H waves for the second time, an extra delivery. I think that comes with the intent. You can see Varde's intent to get runs on the board quickly. That's what we need to do. His team now 1 for 12 of 2.5. Small. This time on the onside once more. Well placed field, left-handed fielder gets it in, only the one run there, and that is over. 3 overs down, guys. 1 for 13. If we update the score, Varde on 10, Tom on 1, and just looking at our partnership here, that's going on to 10 runs already. Varde seems to be the mainstay of this Cassowaries batting team. That time, just backward, have a shot. 1 run. One for 14 now. Tom on strike. Surveys the field. Again, that little bit of spin makes it tough. No run there. We now have a deep mid on and a deep forward square leg right on the boundary line. There are our 2 outers. We have 5 on the offside and 5 on the onside. Of course, 4 on the onside, and our batters well up on the off stump. Is setting a field for an offside attack. Right arm around the wicket. One push back cautiously to the bowler. Now 1 for 3 off 1.4. The wicket still persisting with that slip. Slightly pushed through a bit quicker on that occasion with our blurry screen, no run. Definitely bowling to his field at this stage. Now comes into bowl. Right arm around the wicket. That one pushed onto leg stump. A little bit of spin once more, and played cautiously by Tom. Changing our camera angle here. H was just informing me, which is a new innovation. I know a lot of exciting things happening for our under 19 tournament in a couple of weeks time, with the cameras situated around the ground. It's an amazing world we live in, hey? Kevu bowling his 3rd over. Varde on 11. Tom on 1 of 7. So Varde looking over to the onside. I think anything pitched up, he's going to have another heavy, windy woof at this. Hope he plays every ball on his merits though. So far 1 for 14 off 4. Conservative start, but as we said, there is a little bit in this wicket. And the longer the day goes, I'm sure the better the wicket will play with this wind blowing, and of course the sun beating down on the pitch. Left arm over. Kevu. Right through the high diddle there. That's knocked his stumps over. That's hassled his castle, and that was an absolute ripper from Kevu. Right through the defence of Varde, and that's a wicket that will really lift the Mudmen there. We now have 2 for 14 off the 4 overs, And that's well deserved. I think he's bowled really well today. A couple have gone to Windy Wolf corner, but his line and length has been impeccable. Not overly quick, but making the most of that little bit of green tinge down the Manu end of the oval. So easy one for the umpire, that one. The hardest bit is putting those stumps back into place. Once again we have our replay there. Yeah, that really did. I think it nipped back, would you say, H? Nipped back in quite quickly. So maybe with the humidity out there's a bit in the air as well. It's just keeping that ball so it doesn't get ruined too quickly. So I can see the boys working on it out there, making sure the seams be tight. So at last, I think we've got a right-hand batter coming in. Is that right, H? That'll be a novelty. Yes, we have at last, and we do have Siaka coming in. Leg of the captain coming in, right arm, he's taking his block on leg and middle stump, and this will obviously Kavu making him with a left hand right hand combination. Now his line's got to sort of change over. He's probably aiming around about off stump for this first delivery, I'd say, and see if you can get that little bit movement away. Hence we've still got the first slip standing a fair way back, but of course with the keeper being up, that's pretty standard practice, isn't it, hey? So once again the keeper up to the stumps. Kavu comes into bowl, rolls the fingers on that one and just push back to the bowler. Yeah, they say with the keeper having the helmet up and being at the stumps, it's just to keep the batsman honest, make sure that they don't go wandering down the pitch to have a free hit. They've still got to keep that back foot firmly planted in the crease. That's good tactics as long as the wicket keeper's up to it, of course. I don't think I could do that, H. Once more Kevu coming into bowl, left arm over the wicket. One pushed onto the offside and beautifully fielded in the covers there. Back to the keeper. So this is the over the captain would really be looking for. Would be very happy with the outcome so far. Once more, fourth ball of the over, cautiously pulled back by Lega Siaka. And once again, these dot balls are pushing that run rate up. So, we now are at the situation where we've got 2 for 14 heading towards the end of the fifth over. So we're looking at under 3 runs per over. And in 2020 cricket, that's really not enough. Kevu, left arm over. Not sure that time, pushed the covers, a shot, an appeal, and a shake of the head. Tell you what, H, that was close. We wouldn't mind having that side camera today, but a definite no from umpire Paul Rawali. He was definite, and that's what we want from our umpires, make a quick decision. I know if that had been a test match or a one-day international, the box would have been done across the front of his face, saying we need a replay of that bad boy. That brings Tom on strike. Nancy Tom, a party boy, left arm over the wicket. Aggressively at that one, that's gone high into the air and falls safely at mid-on, and they've run for 2 runs. They've got back for 2. You would have noticed with that one, H, when the ball landed, it was like a golf shot, wasn't it? It just planted itself into the mud. So we'll need some drying going on out there, that's for sure. H will need to get that ball nice and dry. But intent is good. Tom realises he can't poke around. It's not a test match. It's not a 50 over match. This is 2020 cricket. Bit of a discussion between Siaka and Tom there. I'm not sure what that discussion would be about. I think the fact that it's over and we've got now coming in what their plans are. With him coming to the right-hander, he's going to come right arm over the wicket, and of course his line will be just on or outside of stump. and with Siaka facing, obviously be hitting with the spin. So we'll see what young Now's got up his sleeve here. Has he got a ball that goes on with the arm? Has he got a wrong one? Has he got a quicker ball that does, or the ball that just goes straight on a little bit quicker? Let's see what he's got in his bag of tricks. Has he got a Nathan Lyon bag? Let's have a look. First ball, right arm over the wicket. Onto the onside this time. Aggressively played through the field. And again, it's just full short, so they've gone for 2 and they're happy with the 2 runs. Good strong arm from the outfield. And well chased down. So once again, you could see it was slow. That was quite firmly off the middle of the bat, but only resulted in 2 runs. Once again, Siaka on strike. Barramundi player. Play right arm over the wicket. This time pushed onto the onside once more, and aggressively they go through for 1. So I think that discussion would have been making sure that we get a run off every ball. The field is dispersing a bit. Even the inner fielders are getting towards the outer shell of that inner circle. So we can see that the intent of the players now is definitely to get a run each, at least 1 run off every ball. Spoke to H earlier today about what a good total would be here in this innings, and we talked about 100 maybe. So let's see. And the reason for that was that there haven't been really big totals to this stage. The pitch is a little bit more lively today than it has been on last Thursday, so we're thinking maybe we re-evaluate the estimate of the runs that we'll actually get today. So maybe a good score will be 100 today, 5 per over. We might take that. Tom on strike. This time it's gone onto the offside. It has split the field there and they've gone through for 1. Siaka, experienced player. He's been around the traps in the 50 over game, 20 over game. Bet you he wished he's played some test cricket as well over the years. But here we come, right arm over the wicket from now. That one's a little bit short, pushed on the leg side, and it's through the field, and that is 4. I would rate that probably the worst ball he's bowled, H. H is nodding there again, guys. A little bit shorter, pushed on the leg side. He's admonishing himself there too for giving an easy 4 runs away. Siaka's not going to let that one go at all, and made full use of it. Especially with the 2 players out on the onside, it was important that he did split the field, not break the field, split the field with that one. Once again, an aggressive shot. This time it's gone to fine leg. A little sweep shot round the corner. Easy 2 runs. I don't think they'll try and push the 3 there. And well fielded in the outfield. Siaka holds the strike. He's on 10. At the end of that over. Will we have a new bowler? H and I are looking at this. We see our Worm for the first time, one of our favourite graphs. Worm has turned H. That was a good over for the Cassowaries. I'm sure they would have talked today about, making sure we put our best foot forward. They'll be looking at the team for Sunday's finals and saying who really does deserve to be part of that 11. Actually, it's not 11, isn't it? We have a unique system here in Port Moresby where we have 12 and players can interchange on and off the field. So we do have a team of 12, which is a great initiative. New bowler looks like it's Kariko. Is that correct, H? Kariko's coming in. Once again, happy to use the spin bowlers early. Tim Payne, the Australian captain, would be rapt with this. His ambition in his life is with one of those Adelaide teams over there in the Big Bash. One game he wants to bowl his 5 bowlers all being spin bowlers, leg spin, off spin, any type of spin, but he wants a full squad of spin bowlers bowling the whole 20 overs. That would be good. So again, left arm and punched onto the offside. Well placed field at a deep extra cover on the fence. Push through for 2. The appeal goes up, but once again a well-judged run by Tom. Come back quickly for the second. Very slick between the wickets. Very slick, Downsy Tom. Not as fast as his wife though. Not as fast as Tahuni. Tahuni, are you out there somewhere? You'd beat him by 5 metres there. I reckon in a 22 metre race, you'd smash him. Once again, impeccable line. I can't get, you know, these off spinners, the leg spinner, Chinaman bowlers, they're amazing. They come on and hit that spot straight away. Once again, left arm over, quicker bit through the air that time, a little bit quicker through the air, bit of bounce, bit of variation. So Kariko, I'll be happy with what he's dished up so far, guys. Pretty happy with his first over. Good thing he's making sure he's setting his field to his bowling plan, making sure each fieldsman in the position where he wants to bowl. Once again, this one slightly short, pushed down the leg side, and that's called a wide by umpire Lou. He has no mercy on anything down the leg side, no mercy whatsoever, no tolerance. So what does Kariko do? He comes around the wicket, left arm around the wicket, will be angling towards the off stump, and he has. This time it's off the pad, drops at the batsman's feet, no run. Once again, pushing through the overs quickly, left arm around the wicket. Tom hits across the line and is taken in the deep. Well struck, but just picked the fielder out that time, H. Just picked the fielder out. You know, 5 metres either way, and he would have had 4, maybe 6 runs on the board. So we're now at 2 for 30. With Siaka on 10, Tom out for 6, 3 for 30 of 6.5. And I'm just looking at the replay there. You couldn't have hit it any better to the field. So the field did not have to move an inch, H. Didn't have to move an inch. So our new batter looks like it's going to be, I'm not sure if they're going to adjust the batting lineup here. It's going to be G. Terry. Gears out there now. One of the Central boys playing. Very excited this morning. You could see him training. I've got to check that out. I apologise, H. I got my Terry and my Kelly mixed up there. So it's George Terry coming in, one of the lay boys. He's had a good week, I bet you, H, flying over the Owen Stanleys to be here in Port Moresby. So that's a wicket. It'll be interesting to see how George handles this. It's one of his big opportunities here to fly over and represent not only his team, the Cassowaries, but also the beautiful city of Lay as well, Morobe boy. Jericho, that's the wicket he wanted. Now he's got a new batsman on strike, a right-hander. Tall, angular man, proudly wearing number 7 on his back. And the green and gold, of course. Left arm around the wicket, pushed down the leg side. And they've jogged through. Did they get through for 1? They did. Just have a score check there at the end of the 7th over. We've got 3 for 31. Siaka on 10 off 8. Terry's got a run rate of 100% at the moment. 1 run off 1 ball. Hopefully he can maintain that. H and I discussed too the importance of the fielding. We watched the teams go through their pre-match warm-ups this morning, and fielding was a big part of it. Throwdowns, aiming at that one stump, aggressively approaching the ball, throwing in one motion if they pick the ball up, getting down low. Fielding has really improved over the years since 2020 cricket became part of the cricket vernacular. 2005, I think, Hates, the first 2020 game. Good trivia question here, listeners. When was it held? Who invented 2020 cricket? Everyone thinks it was in India, H. No. Australia versus New Zealand, Eden Park Oval. Take that, H. actually was invented in England, but the first international game was Australia versus New Zealand. In England it was invented, this mode of the game, because the numbers to county games were going down very, very predominantly over a 10-year period, over a decade. Right arm around the wicket, now it's back in. One of those crowd catches, that one. Looks like a caught and bowled, but punched straight into the ground. Yeah, so the history of this game, even though it's not ancient, is very profound in the fact that it's changed the mode of cricket, the way cricket's played. Push to the point region. Terry giving himself 3 or 4 balls to get his iron, but we know you can't spend overs getting your iron. It's got to be a quick process. Right arm over the wicket, slightly short of that time. Bit of spin once more. And Terry played it very cautiously back to the offside. Right arm over the wicket. This time he's swing and a miss, and that is bowled. So a windy woof, and unfortunately the head was lifted and the eyes weren't on the ball the whole way that time, H. So a wicket there for now. Brings his figures now for 2 for 13, to be pretty happy with that. That's the old windy wolf, isn't it, H? It's not really what the Cassowaries wanted at this stage of proceedings. So it's now 4 for 31 and dire straits. It's not looking too good. Still a bit of batting to come with Moria coming in now. We know that he can play the bat. Very, very gifted batsman. Just checking if he's from Party. It's a very important thing. He's a HB boy. He's one of my boys, H. He's from Party. H is happy today because I've got lots of biscuits here. The good thing is, with the rain, we haven't been invaded by ants like we were during the UAE 50 over tournament against the Laos about 5 or 6 months ago. So the biscuits are open. I reckon H is down about 10 already. He's 10 for. But we haven't seen any ants invade just yet. Wait till we get the butternut snaps out later on, H. I reckon they're 90% sugar. Now is 2 for 13 or 3.4. 2 more deliveries in this spell. But maybe he'll be bowled right out. They have a deep bowling list, the Mudmen. They've got plenty of bowlers they can depend on. Lots of spin talent as well. An open stance here from Moria. Again, that's a big appeal for LBW. I tell you what, H, it's looking like the finger was going to be raised there. I want to have a look at this. But umpire Paul Rawali shook his head straight away. Hang on, we're looking. Ooh, maybe down, slightly down the leg side. Next delivery's bowled. This time punched to the covers and no run. So well done to now. It's a really good over. Wicket maiden by my books, H. And we are 4 for 31. Off spin bowler, 2020 bowling a wicket maiden. They're made of gold. They are made of gold, H. So well done to team now. Just shows you the depth of bowling in this Barra's outfit too, doesn't it? That's how Noah's a very proficient off-spin bowler. We've now got Kariko coming in. He's got 1 for 4 if he's 1 over. So we do bowl deep in these squads that we're developing for the Burrows and the Lowers. Left arm around the wicket, pushed onto the leg side, just backward a square leg, heading towards fine, and push through for 1. Saw no signal there, but H must have been off the bat. And that gives Moria the strike once more. Left arm around the wicket, angling into the right hand batter. Now he's decided to come left arm over the wicket, angling across the right hand batter. The open stance of Moria, beaten outside the off stump. Again, as we stipulated, guys, there's a bit of spin, there's a bit in this pitch, and I think the captains knew it. Just a change of field there with that one spinning quite a lot. They've moved into a first slip position to the new batter. Moria this time punches through the car offside covers, and they've decided not to run. A good change of angle in my opinion. H angling across the right hander, spinning it further away and having that slip there. Wants him to hit, that's the one he needs to get hold of, and he has. But once again, it's a slow part of the field just there, and only one run. I thought off the bat that might have gone right through to 4H, but no, only the one run. That does bring Siaka on strike, but again, being a right-hander, I don't think Kariko will change his line. He changed the speed a little bit. No, that one's floated up. Again, a sweep shot. This time he's got a bit of hold of that one. And again, it hasn't gone to the fence, and that's seemed to come right off the face of the bat. So 2 runs, just back with a square leg. And that keeps Siaka ticking over. My calculations, he's now on 13 off 10 deliveries. So he's doing his part of the job. Kariko comes back around the wicket. This time he's lofted that one into the air, and I think he's got hold of that pretty well. I don't think it went for 6. H is waving 4, and that, oh, it's changed. He's gone for 6. So that was interesting. The fielder in the outfield definitely waved for 4, but I think the other fielders waved for 6. So the umpire's gone for the biggest score, which is a good thing to do. Eh? H is looking. I'm looking now. I'm trying. H is 6. H. I definitely saw 2 signals out there. H, 1 for 6, 1 for 4. But I'm pretty sure it was paid as 6. And that brings the score now to 4 for 41 off 9 overs. And that's the type that we really needed. Siaka now 19 off 11. Yeah, that's a lovely strike of the ball. Hey, that is beautifully hit. Once again, I'm still confused. Yes, the umpire has definitely singled 6. H is just get. That's why we need this man in the other. It hit the rope, and that's where the confusions come from. Now, those guys listening to you today who are not sure of the rules of 2020 cricket, if it does hit the rope, it's 6 runs. Good rule. Now we have Vada coming in to bowl. He's medium pace. There's a bit of pad on that one. Hit back with a square, back with a fine leg, just a fine leg position there, just looking around the corner into our murky window, and 1 run off the bat. No signal there from Rawali, so that's gone onto the score of Moria. I'd be happy with that one. 2 from 6. Siaka now the mainstay. I think he'd be pretty happy to get a medium pacer back on. Right arm over the wicket. Righto's punch back, diving forward. And I think we've spilt that one, H, haven't we, hey? It went to hand, but the catch was not taken. We'll have a look at the replay. H is going to nod. Let's have a look. It was a full toss. We'll give the fielder the benefit of the doubt. H is shaking his head. He thinks it bounced in front of him, but in comes Lada once more. Pushed onto the offside. And just shows you, if you make a strong decision, they're going to go for a second, and they get there. If you make a decisive decision, push it just wide of the fielder, 90% of the time you're pretty right, especially at that depth that he was at that backward point. So 2 runs there to Siaka. And the good thing is he holds the strike as well. Now, and that's pushed for 1 run. Brings Moria on strike. And a Wabada boy, open stance, and pushed onto the onside, and jogged through for 1 easy run. bowler. No run on that occasion. I think Moria was happy for Siaka to take the striker for the next over. But interesting if we see another change of bowler here. Just checking things out. Let's check our worm. It's turning up and down like a yo-yo H at the moment, so hopefully with Siaka out there we can get some spikes going here. It's been pretty good for the last few overs. H is writing something down here which is always important. Drinks break, H. My goodness me, that's after 10 overs. It's interesting, you really don't need a drinks break in 2020 cricket in my opinion. We used to be out there for 2.5 hours when we played our 80 over games, H. Why do you need a drink after 10 overs? I don't know. Anyway, that's the way the rules are these days, H. Anyone bowls with a hat on today, H, I'm going to leave this box. It's not cricket, H, to bowl with a hat on. But we haven't seen it so far, so thank you to Captain's Legger and Captain Boyo. You don't let your bowlers bowl with a hat on. But the game has changed, hasn't it, H? That one decision, I think back in the 1990s, New Zealand invented a game called Cricket Max, which sort of looked a little bit like this 2020 over form of a game, but it never really caught on until Robinson, I think he was with the ECB, he come up with the theory, let's have a 20 over game, we can get it over and done within a few hours, it's going to bring the crowds back in. And of course it was implemented in a game between Hampshire and Sussex way back in 2003, and 2 years later the first international 2020 game was held. So we have a saying in Australia, from little things big things grow, and from that game at Eden Park in New Zealand in 2005 we now have competitions all around the world, even in Papua New Guinea. So again, thank you to Barocco Motors Isuzu. Without your help this would not be possible, and they look magnificent in their uniforms. I know they sponsor the uniforms, they sponsor the game, signage, whole lot of different things that Barocco Motors do for cricket PNG that we just really appreciate, guys. So thank you so much, and please keep it up. Driving around on that new bus the other day, H, how good is that? We did the Prince Charles wave out the window and driving past Barocco Food World. So thanks again, guys. Isuzu, a great Japanese company. I think last year, was it true, Barocco Motors celebrated their 60th anniversary. Is that right, H? 60 years in Papua New Guinea. We started in Port Moresby, of course, and now we've expanded to Lae, Mount Hagen. And they do so much great sponsorship for sport, and not only sport, for the communities in PNG. So greatly appreciated, guys. Kariko's going to bowl his overs out, I think, H. Is that correct, or has he got 2 more up his sleeve? I think he might have 2 up his sleeve, actually. I apologise. Alu's waving his hand at H. H waves back. And that means the situation changes with the power play now. H is nodding once more. We don't have to have only 2 batters out. After the 6th over, of course, we can have more fielders out. And at the moment, though, the captain is being still quite aggressive. Moria on strike, pushes to the covers, no run. Yeah, so if for those who don't know, after 6 overs, of course, 6 overs is the first power play, and then you can move more fielders out to the depths of the field. Once more, this time backward of point. A little dabble back there, and they jog through. Two runs there, and Moria keeps the strike. Having real troubles with his helmet out there. Every time he runs, it loosens the strap. Barocco not letting them settle, guys. He's now back to left arm over the wicket. Definite ploy there. The open stance of Moria. Barocco comes in, flights that one up, the sweep shot. Bit of a fumble there at backward square leg, and they jog through for 1. What will Barocco do this time? He's staying over the wicket with Siaka on strike. pushes that one quickly through, punched through the covers to deep cover and fielded there, only the one run. Trying to push that run rate up to 5 runs per over. We're 4 for 50 off 10.4, so we need a couple more boundaries would be the order of the day. This time it's a play and a miss. Again, push back to the bowler. Well bowled again to the young fella. Only 4 runs off that over, and his figures at the moment are very, very impressive. Let's have a look at the Manhattan this time. It's variable, as we can see. A couple of spikes there of nearly 9 or 10 runs per over, but the bowling has been tight. It's been very good. Vara coming into bowl now. 5 off his first over. Seems to be... Oh, we've got a bowling change. Is that right, H? We have got a bowling change. Vagi's coming into bowl. Uri Vagi. Central boy getting his chance today. I don't think Travis has represented the Barras. He hasn't represented Barras before, so I know he's quite an experienced player, but hasn't had the privilege of representing the Barras yet. Which village is he from, mate? Is he a Hollow man? H is usually knows everything, so this is something. This is our homework. We'll find out where Vuri Vagi's from. H thinks he knows the answer. He looks like, from what our knowledge is, his right arm over the wicket with a little bit of leg spin, I think. Is that correct, H? This time it's been an aggressively played through mid-off. Again, the ball plunges into the ground and sinks like a wedge shot, doesn't it, H? A golf shot just stopped there. So 2 runs, but the intent is there. Right arm leggy, see like what he's got, see if he can turn it. Let's have a look. Floated that one up, over pitched on the leg stump, backward square leg, picks that up, and they only get 1. Lega would have been kicking himself with that one. He would have liked that one to dispatch to the boundary. This time it's on the offside. Slightly uppish as he punches it to point, through point, and they get 1 run. Uri Vagi, like most leg spinners, it's hard to hit your spot straight away. It takes a couple of overs, but in this form of the game you haven't got a couple of overs, so hopefully he can get it right. We've got 4 runs, but he hasn't gone for a boundary yet. Hang on, he's got to wait. The umpire. Uri Vagi in. The backward sweep. No run. H's favourite shot, the old reverse sweep. H plays it very similar to that one actually. Not much Matt gets on ball, but he likes to experiment, he does. Once again on the off stump, the backward sweep works this time. He's got a fair bit of that bad boy, and that's raced to the fence for 4. And as I predicted to H, I think this outfit is starting to pick up a little bit. We can see the flags fluttering in the distance and the ground drying out. That one went like a tracer bullet to the boundary line. That was well struck. So, yeah, that was. I think he actually got to that one on the full. So, well played, young man. Excellent shot. 4 runs. I know Coach McCaskill will be happy with that one. So he's on 30 off 20 now. And Vuri Vagi, he's 8 runs. He needs a dot ball here. That's wide down the leg side. Bat on ball. Fumble at backward square leg, and they've jogged through for 1, which keeps Siaka on strike. He should be on 31 by my calculations. We now are at 12 overs, and we're nearly at that magic run rate of 5 runs per over. So we predicted this, H, a couple of 4s, keep the strike rotating. If we get for 5 runs per over, that will bring us up to 100 at the end of this, and that will be, in my opinion, formidable. Sayaka setting the scene, 31 off 21. With 8 overs to go, we've got a bowling change, I think. Let's have a look. H is nodding to me once more. Oh, it's Tutara coming into bowl. It's Frank, isn't it? It is Frank. He's a Barra HB boy as well. We have Coach McCaskill wandering around here with a couple of players, giving advice. Well done to Coach McCaskill. He said, mow that pitch down low. We don't want a repeat of the Melbourne Test match. It only lasted 2 days because the grass was too long. That was a farce. Left arm medium pace over the wicket. In comes Tutara. Pushes it through onto the onside. One quick run. And you can see the experience of Sayaka there, can't you guys? He's not going to let a ball go, which he doesn't try and get a run from. So, well done to Leggy. You're really leading your team brilliantly out there at the moment. I think I used the words dire straits when they're around about 4 for about 35 odd, and Moria and Sayaka have really settled things down. He put him in the right direction. Moria now knows that he's got to rotate the strike as well. That one's outside the off stump, well pitched up, punched down to mid-off, and an easy run there. And a wild throw from the outfield there. That brings Sayaka back on strike. The other important thing is for the next 3 or 4 overs to keep wickets in hand so you can have that massive charge at the end. Don't want to lose a couple of quick wickets now. Tatura's come around the wicket to the right hand of this occasion. Over pitched and beautifully fielded a square leg there. Magnificent bit of fielding. If that had got through, and I can see the keeper clapping, that was 4 runs for sure. The keeper's actually gone and given high five to the guy backwards square leg there, and I know why. If I was a bowler, I'd run down and give him high five too, because that wasn't a good delivery, but beautifully fielded. I think H and I would have ducked on that one. Here he comes around wicket. We'll pitch it outside edge, they go for a run. Nothing silly, nothing silly. That would have been suicide there. So you can see Moria's mindset. He says, I don't want dot balls, I don't want dot balls. And he's been just unlucky, H, you know. That one should have gone for 4. Now he's put pressure on himself, so he needs a big breath. He's got 2 balls to go in this over. See what he can do with those. Left arm around the wicket. That one's a slower ball. That's well bowled, but the keeper didn't quite get that one. They've gone through for 1, and I bet you Sayaka's thinking to himself, I want to get down the other end. I'm going to get a run here. I want strike for the next over. It's time for me to explode. Last ball of the over. Sayaka on strike. He looks, he pushes, and again beautifully fielded. Well done that over, guys. Mudmen did really well on the field, so very pleasing. A bit of a drying process going on here. I think they're changing. Is it changing their gloves, H? I'm getting a bit sweaty out there in the hands. So again, let's look at our scorecard, guys. After a sort of mediocre start, things are starting to fall into place for the Cassowaries. I wonder what sort of goal they set themselves at the start of this innings. Were they looking at 120? Were they looking at 100? I'm sure those goals have been adjusted as the game goes on. Sayaka's a very wise man. Vuivagi coming in once more, none from 9 off his 1, so it's great to see that the captain stuck with him and give him another chance to find his length. Moria on strike, 9 from 16. Once again, he would like to get that run rate up to a run a ball. I think that will be his objective over the next 7 overs. If he's there, takes strike. Open stance once more. Right arm over leg spin. That one's spins a fair bit, that one. That's what a nice little delivery. Rolf lined it up, pushed onto the offside, and they're looking for two, but I think Mori is happy for Siaka to have the strike. It seems like he's the most chance of hitting boundary deliveries. Louis Vargi enjoying every moment of this tournament, I'm sure. He's a big smile on his face the whole time in the nets yesterday. In he comes. That one pushed through a bit quicker. Bit of bounce on that occasion. They run straight away, and of course, as we said, if it goes wide of the fielder at that distance, you go straight away. There's one run there every time. Very awkward place to field in that position too, H. I've let a few go through there because the ball bounces in front of you. It does funny things, H. H is nodding. It goes at funny angles. And it's so embarrassing, isn't it, H? And he comes once more. Once more pushed to the offside. And an easy run there to Moria. Gets Siaka on strike once again. Bowls a little bit like our boy in the office, doesn't he, this bloke? Touch of the old boys action there. Wristy, whippy action at the last moment. Here we go, here's a whip. There it is, that's the flighted one. Push to the offside once more, hitting with the spin. Easy run. And good cricket, good bowling, good batting, good fielding, good stuff. Found his length a little bit shorter that time, and a well placed field with that deep extra cover on the boundary just about out there, and only one run, nearly a deep, yeah, this sort of extra cover, one run off that. So a picket fence there at the end there. I've got 4 runs been coming up there. Hey, who put that one down? I think the scorer sneezed and pressed the wrong button there. Who was that? That wasn't 4 runs. I was going to say a picket fence, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, and that was the case. I think that's been adjusted. 4 for 68 off 14. Siaka on 35, Moria on 12 off 20, and things have settled right down. Run rate now 4.86. We'll bring that up to 5, and our predictions, as they usually are, we're pretty modest here. We're pretty not modest up here in the box. We predicted about 100 runs. In comes Tutuara. He's lost his run up there, or something's happened. Nice little umpire Lou there, very nice work. Have a look at that for an action. I think his shoes got caught in the mud. It is very spongy down that end, H. Very spongy down the Bassini end. Yeah, I'm just testing, H. I know it's a Manu end. I'm just seeing if you're awake, that's all. We know it's a Manu end. Again, left arm around the wicket, over pitch, full toss, punched on the onside for 1, and that brings Siaka on strike once more. You can see there's Tim running behind the side screen there. He could just stand still and be part of the side screen, couldn't he, mate? Oh, I'm going to get into big trouble, eh? Rurua said that. He told me to say it, Tim. And he comes right over around the wicket. Left arm around. I'm rattle, H. He hit the pad, but down the leg side, no real appeal there. I'll be big trouble. I'm just saying he's got a black t-shirt on, H. It matches the side screen. Siaka on strike. He'll have a crack at this one, I'd say. He'll have a crack at this one on the onside. Oh, that's beautifully bowled. That's beautifully bowled. No appeal. Obviously dug that one out, I'd say. H, a bit of bat on that one, maybe heading down the leg side, but that was a good old-fashioned Yorker, H, eh? Sanchu crusher. Yeah, well bowled. Can read Siaka's mindset there. I'm going to have this guy over mid-wicket or hit him straight. Experience of being a barra. He comes once more. This time he's got a little bit short. He's got hold of that one down to mid on, and that's only the one run. Tutara. We've got a misspelling on the sheet here, so I apologise to Tutara. My fault. My helmet repeater. So we refer these guys by their first names a lot of the time too, don't you, guys? Again, well bowled. He's deceptive, isn't he, this guy, Tutara? Very deceptive. Got a little change of pace. A bit like Palke Siaka, eh? You just never know what he's going to bowl. But he's obviously good at this form of game. The fact that he can pitch it up and bowl a decent Yorker, and that's a rarity. So left arm around the wicket. Pressure's back on Moria now, 13 off 22. He knows he's got to get bat on ball. He knows he's got to get bat on ball, and he pushes it through the covers this time. Nice shot, but a well set field, and only the one run. Coach Kilapara would be pretty happy to this stage of proceedings. 4 for 71 off 15. He knows if he can keep them under 100, his team's got a real chance of pushing for a victory at Amini Park on this beautiful, beautiful day. Isuzu Cup, what a great concept this is, guys. Should have it every 6 months, not every year. H is nodding. It would be great. And isn't it fantastic? The guys from Popondetta, Lay, we've got Alatau guys involved. It's brilliant. And the good thing is we've got a tournament coming up against the South Pacific nations, Asia South Pacific, but after that we have the women's Isuzu Cup coming up after that, because it was cancelled for these few days because of the weather. But we've got cricket happening here at Amini Park for the next 2.5 weeks, mate, and that makes us happy. Caracol coming into bowl, 1 for 18, and this is off the 3, and he comes left arm around the wicket, well bowled, uppishly put off the edge to that backward point position again, that more like a gully position there, a deep gully. He got that rotten bounce that you do get there when it comes off the thick edges. Caracol, 1 for 9 off 3.1. This is his last over. And for those guys not familiar with the 2020 format, maximum of 4 overs. Again, the reverse sweep. Keeper got hands to it, but couldn't stop it going for 1. Carrico just looked at the batter and said, "Don't try that one on me." It's smart you there. Moria on strike. Desperate in the field and stopped the run. Well fielded by the bowler. Bit of a limp up there. Typical bowler though. You're always desperate off your own deliveries, aren't you, mate? Eh? Once again, Caracol coming in. Well pitched up and punched back down past the bowler. They're looking for 2. Tell you what, H, I would have had a crack at that one, I reckon. I would have had a go at running 2 there. Not now, but back in my younger days. Siaka on strike. Calico in. Left arm around the wicket. Reverse sweep. He's got onto that one. We're watching it. And that one has disappeared for 6 runs. In Australia we have a term for that one, H. That is shot of the day. That is a backward sweep. He has shellacked that ball. It didn't go that high, and he's got it to the fence for 6. That is a ripper shot. And it changes the complexion of the game. We're now up to 4 for 80. That is a ripper. The workmen weren't going to get off their backsides there to get the ball over the hedge. In the game once more, he's gone. No, he's not. He's pushed it down the leg side. That's really clever bowling. And he's called it a wide. Now that would be infuriating. If I was a bowler there, I would be infuriated. First motion, he's going to do the backward sweep. Have a look. Yeah, and then he's gone to orthodoxy. You push it down the leg side as a good bowler would. And of course, it's a wide, another delivery. A very, very shrewd batter here. So 50-run partnership come up there by my calculations. H4 for 82 of 16. And now that figure of 100, I think that's being very conservative. I think if they bat out, these two bat out the overs that are left, then we could be looking over 110 runs. So we'll see how it eventuates anyway. We know one wicket can change the complexion of the game completely. So one wicket brings a new batter up, and this isn't a pitch where you can just go wham bam from the start. You really need to play a few deliveries in to see what it's doing. With a bowler like Tatara bowling, we know that he's not going to make it easier for a new batter. But Siaka on strike, and even Siaka's had a little bit of a conservative approach to Tatara in terms of trying to get the ball away, especially that full pitch Yorker punching onto leg stump. Siaka has a look, surveys the field, takes up his position, and Tatara into bowl. I can guarantee it won't be short, H. It will not be short. In it comes the off stump. That one's pushed on the onside, taken from off stump onto the onside, and that is 4 runs. See the keeper clapping, telling his team to keep focused. Don't let one shot destroy your confidence. Nothing wrong with that delivery, H. It's just a powerful shot on the onside from a guy who's got a wicked eye. Really nice shot. In he comes once more. Left arm over the wicket again. He's punched that one onto the offside, straight to the car. Mid-off position. No run. Keeper's keeping the chirp up there. He's keeping his team on his toes. He said, next ball's coming to you. Let's get behind it. Let's back our bowler up. The dot ball is just what we wanted after being hit for 4 off the first ball of the over. Funny how when you get hit for 4 first ball of the over, the complexion of the over changes, doesn't it, H? You're thinking, oh geez, I've got 5 more here, I've got to knuckle down and not let him get another one to the boundary. Siaka's got other ideas. Surveys the field, in he comes. Okay, this one slowed that one up a little bit, H, pushed it onto the offside, no run. And here's where the guile of Tatara will come into vogue. Try not to bowl the same ball twice in a row. Siaka, I know he's not that sort of guy, but he'd be thinking 2 more runs, I've got 50 here if he knows what the score is. I'm sure he does. All batters know that, don't they? They know how many runs I've got. In he comes once more. This one onto the leg stump, and that is shellacked. That is a great shot for 6 more runs. 50 runs up now for Siaka. The crowd goes balloon. Holds his bat up to the team. Holds his bat up to the crowd, and what a great effort that is. Even the keeper's giving that a clap. That's a top little knock. Again, just slightly in the position where you could get underneath that one and lift it over the fence. Once more, live play. Slower ball on that occasion, pushed to mid-on. And they're looking for 2, and they're going for the 2, and hang on. No, not out. Sometimes when they hit direct like that, H, you've got to have a close look, don't you, hey? But well run, 2 more runs for Siaka, moves him on to 56 off 37. The great man will be looking for a drink at this stage of proceedings, but it's clever batting, pushed onto the onside. Always looked like 2. Fielder comes in, bang, but no, you can see by the replay that he was well past it. Once again, shorter this time, push the covers onto point position, and they scuttle through for 1 run. I think Siaka will be looking for a quick drink there, guys. Been a lot of running between wickets. Let's have a look at the Manhattan anyway. So we've got up to overs 17, where we've scored over 13 runs for that over. That's our best effort so far, and we're now at 4 for 95 off that 17. So our estimate of 100 runs is going to be revised here, H. I think we were looking at maybe 115, 120. So that's good. That's good. That's going to give them a competitive total. Like we said, 2 guys, the pitch is drying out, and with that the outfit as well. So if you're batting second, I think it's a bit of an advantage today. So let's not write the Mudmen off here. They're going to have the best of the batting conditions, the best of the fielding positions, and that's leading to us to a very exciting game. Vada coming in. H is smiling. From my calculations, we've got a Parry boy bowling. Every time a Parry boy comes in, he has this grin like a Cheshire cat on his face. Every time we see someone party, he's saying he's not only bowling for the Mudmen, he should be a Cassowary. No, he should be a Barracuda or a Barramundi or a Barra something or other. He's pushing for his boys. Is he related to you, H? He's not related. Everyone's related to you, H.
Oh.
Right arm, medium pace, over the wicket, bowling to Siaka. Rolls the fingers down one, a little bit quick off break that one. Punch to the covers, and they've jogged through for 1 easy run, which puts Vardia on strike. So roll the fingers down the seam there a bit, H. Let's have a look at that one in slow motion. Have you faced him before? Have you faced Vada before? He's faced him in local games.
Yes.
And he comes against Ladder. Time onto the onside. They've run hard, the first one, and well fielded. Excellent fielding. Attacked that ball like gout running 100 metres there. He's pushed really quickly for the ball and restricted them to 1 run. Field is now spread. We've got players 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5 legitimate players out in their outfield positions, 5 into the inner circle, and in comes Vada, right arm over the wicket, medium pace, on strike. Siaka goes onto the back foot, slightly pushes the covers, and no run. Boy, oh, Ray would be happy with this over so far. The business end of the game, and it's 1-1-0. We'll be looking for a couple more dot balls or ones. This time he's got underneath that one, and that is a... He's totally missed it. Again, looking out the window, you couldn't see. That's nutted him. So Siaka, go and have a drink, mate. Go and have some fruit and get yourself rested up for the field, because that's a top knock. That's one of the knockers of the series. 58 runs. Yeah. When we first saw it, we took it for granted that might have been sailing over the fence, but it's taken out leg, middle and leg stump. So Siaka out for 58. Bowled Vada. Vada will be pretty happy, a wicket, and only 2 runs off this over so far. And of course it brings a new batsman to the centre, and it's not going to be easy for the last couple of overs. Ale now coming into bat. HB boy, the Barramundi squad. Bit of an all-rounder, H? Yeah. Bowler really, but he can bat a bit too. I've watched him in the nets, H. He smacks a good ball, so it's amazing when you see them in the nets just how hard they hit the ball with those modern bats of theirs. But it's never easy. You've got 5 fielders out, and if I was him, I'd just be pushing a single and getting Modder on strike, who's been out there now for over 40 minutes. In comes Vara, 1 for 7. Again, rolls the fingers, slower ball, but he's done exactly what we wanted, pushed onto the offside, gets down the other end. Moria to face the last ball of the over, and once again he'll be looking for a rotation of the strike so he gets C. Got it. I apologise, H. Looking through the murky window instead of the screen once more. Push to the offside. And by Mel calculations, one more ball. But there was a wide H. I knew that. I was just testing your knowledge. So I apologise, guys. What happens with me, sometimes I look up and looking at the cricket through the window, and it's like looking through the windshield of an aeroplane of 150 years old. It's all blurry and stuff like that. So H is looking at his computer screen with a close-up, and sometimes it's just bad habits. You're like looking at the live screen. There's a slight differential in the time between what you see live and what you see on the screen. Only a second, but that's enough to sometimes put you off. So my apologies, it was 2 runs that time, and W stands for wicket, not wide, when it's red. So in again, Lara coming in. That's Richard Kawara, not from North. I'm going to get excited here, I think. One of our lay boys is bowling. I'll look for 2 and jump back. Yeah. Now on to Moria 17, now on to 19 runs. 2 runs off the first ball from the Wara from Lay, and Morobi boy. Nice little whippy action. Again pushed on the onside, backward a square leg for 1. And it brings Young we've just reached the 100 mark. That's why we've hesitated there, guys. 5 for 102, 18.2, and that's all bonus runs from here in as far as we're concerned. That one's a wide. That's a wide. That's a very wide H. So that was a ball that obviously slipped out of his hand. He'd be a little bit nervous, the young fella. You get a free hit for that one, H, wouldn't you? Much more into bowl. The onside. One's gone down to fine leg, and they've come back for 2, looking for 3. No way on this occasion. Just getting the batters up once more in a second. We're waiting for that screen to show us. Leg buys, I thought that might be the case. Just didn't travel with the right speed, did it, hey? Once again. Slower ball once more, wide outside the off stump. He looks disappointed with that one. It was a slower ball, and wide H, I think it was just took the batsman by surprise. But it's been called a wide, and you just have to bowl with it again. In it comes. Let's have a look, H. Yeah. Good thing about umpire Lou, he never hesitates, does he? He never procrastinates either. This time it's well up into the air. The bowler calls mine, and it's caught and bowled. So this is a crazy stage of the game, guys, and we're now on 6 for 106. Straight up in the air from now. Doing the right thing by his team, trying to push the run rate along. I think by my calculations I might have crossed over there, H, but we'll have a look and just see if they did cross over. Pate coming into bat now. Nelson Pate, central boy, not on the Barra squad, but very highly recommended by the coaches here. Warrior on 20 off 29, another solid knock. Another lefty as well. Well, 1 for 5 off his so far. It's been a mixed bag this over. He's got the wicket, but he's bowled some interesting deliveries, HJ. The good thing is the captains are giving these guys a crack. They're giving them a go, which we're really pleased about. Once again, right arm, sticking to right arm over the wicket. Change of angle this time with the lefty being in. Slightly shorter this time. Whippy action, push through the 1. And good backing up there from Moria. Gets Pate off the mark and puts Moria on strike with 1 delivery to go. Alright, end. Well pitched up and they can move out swing on that occasion. Did he get an eat there? No, he didn't. That's over. So even though it looks a mixed bag there, well, really there wasn't a lot of damage done in that over. So looking at our scorecard now, the standout innings of course from Legasiaka with his 58 odd runs, and that really did set the Cassowaries up for a competitive score. So with 1 over to go, 107 on the board, we'd be looking at 117 as an optimum score unless they can get on to a couple of big hits. With Pate on strike, Nelson on strike, it's going to be difficult for him to really push those boundaries when he really hasn't got his eye in just yet. Varda in 1 from 9 of his 2 so far. Okay, a big pair for LBW. The angle looked like down leg side, so he looks disappointed, but trouble when you're bowling right arm around the wicket and your lines, you've really got to straighten the ball up. So I don't know if that's straightening up from LBW. Let's have a closer look. Harder for us to see on this screen here. It really does have to pitch on line first of all, then it has to straighten up to hit the stump. So if I was the umpire, I would have called that not out as well. Next delivery, a big windy woof at that one. It's gone to the onside and it's dropped. I think you've got a hand to that one. H is nodding. They come back for 2. And they're looking for 3 and they're getting 3. The bowler should have admonished himself far at that stage. Don't let the ball come through. Maybe a bit of a disappointment. Pate on 4, Moria now on strike on 20 off 30. Vara decides to come right arm over the wicket. Moving his offside, fielders inside the circle, lots of protection on the onside, in he comes. There pushes on the offside once more, they go through for a single and they get there. Around the wicket to the left-hander, angling in, 3 deliveries to go. Well pitched up, pushed onto the onside, again an easy run, nothing silly, brings them up to 112. If you'd told us 40 minutes ago that you get 112, they would have taken that every day of the week, I would have thought. With 2 deliveries to go, that could get up to 115 odd, the way they've been batting. Moria on strike, he could hit a 4. He's gone for that, it's gone onto the onside, and a well set field. They look for 2, fumble in the field, an easy 2. Moria moves on to 23, Pate on 5 from his 4 deliveries. Score now 6 for 114 off the 19.5 with not 2 deliveries but 1 delivery to go, pending that it's a legal delivery of course. He comes. Pitched well up, that's well hit on there and it's landed short. They've gone back for 2 and that is over. So wrapping things up there guys, 116, 6 for 116, Moria did his job, backed up his captain very well. Total 6 for 116 off the 20 overs. That is very, very, very competitive. We'll take a break now as H has another 5 biscuits, and we'll be back in a moment to have a look at the innings of what have they got. It's going to depend on their top 4 batsmen to a certain degree, to having a look at what their scores have been so far in the series. So fingers crossed we've got a real good game on our hands for the second half of this. There's our scorecard. A lot of good reading there, and the bowling was steady throughout. Thanks, H. Welcome back to Amini Park, and as they say in cricket, we've got a game on our hands here at Amini Park this afternoon. Actually, it's still the morning, but by the time this game finishes, it'll be the early part of the afternoon. 116 runs. That means a score of 117 for the Mudmen. That is achievable, but only if they knuckle down, build some partnerships, rotate the strike, and bat to a certain plan. But we know, of course, the Cassowaries are a strong bowling team. Not going to make it easy for them. As we saw in the first 4 or 5 overs, there's some prodigious spin out there at times as well. So not the easiest pitch to bat on, but I think 116 is a gettable score. Not an impossible score, it's a very good score. So we're going to have a good game of cricket. As the umpire Alu and Rawali come out, change their ends, of course, as they do, as umpires do. And we have the opening batsman coming up, Pate Almaria. That can't be the case. We've still got our old batters up. So with the batting up there, we've got some big hitters coming in at the start of the innings, and hopefully we can get a good start while the field's up in the first 6 overs of the power play. Just adjusting our scorecard here so we can see who our opening batters are. By my calculations, it's Gaudi and Bacana, is that right? It is Gaudi and Bacana. So, From Gaudi, he's a killer man. Hasn't played for the Boroughs before, but a lot of potential I've heard on the grapevine. Of course, we've got Gaudi as well, who has played, Bacana, of course, who has played a fair bit of cricket with the Central Province team that he's from. So it's good to see some new guys getting a crack at this form of the game, especially. We've talked about the history of this game and how it's now implanted firmly into the story of the development of PNG cricket, with so many tournaments that we play in the South Pacific, the Asia South Pacific of the 2020 format. It's interesting because the 50 over game is becoming more of a rarity than the 20 over game. So I know that talking to H and a lot of the people in the office where I work as a development officer, this is the game that's really taken PNG by storm, this format of the game. And just think, 50 years ago this game did not exist. Good things about this type of cricket, of course, it's over in a couple of hours. It gives a chance for aggressive cricket to be played as a crowd-pleasing style of the game. The negatives is it's really hard to build an innings of any substance. I don't think we'll see a century hit in this competition, which is sad. It was a 50 over game, and of course the test style of games definitely do lend themselves to bigger scores. Now coming into bowl, it's a right arm over the wicket, tall angular figure, bit of bounce, and Bacana will be facing. Takes centre. Umpire Alu just waves him over a little bit. That's 2 centres, he says. He's waving to the scorer. H waves back, and we are ready to rock and roll. It'd be interesting to see the mindset of the 2 opening batters. Have they changed what their plan was for the last game? Mudmen might be saying this is our chance to impress against one of the powerhouse teams of this competition, the Cassowaries. Now, right arm over the wicket. Just waiting for the fields to be set. Hello now. Right arm over the wicket. Bacana on strike. Down the leg side. Stopped by the keeper. Must have been a tickle of the pad or the hip onto that one, because no wide is called. I think H and I would have run off to the offside there and called a wide for sure if that was the case. So Bacana was hoping to tickle onto that one. No luck. Bacana facing up. Again, down the leg side. Something on that, they've come back for 2. Just looking for the umpire's call here. He's called 2 wides. He has called that 1 wide. That's 2 wides, extra delivery, and that gets our Mudmen off on the mark. None for 3. And I know that they know would be pretty disappointed with his line so far to the right-hander. He knows he's got to get it onto that off stump, and he comes right arm over the wicket, going to swing. He's got hold of that one, and that is being signalled as a 6 off the second legal delivery of the over, 6 runs, and this is just the start the Mudmen wanted. So far none for 9 of 2 legitimate deliveries. And straight away. So LA would not be happy with his first couple of deliveries here. Barra's squad he is. Hanawabata boy is saying, I need to get a wicket now, or at least have the last 4 deliveries as dot balls. And he comes right arm over the wicket. Whippy action again. He's got hold of that one. Again, he's put it over the fence for 6 big ones, and I know that Coach Kilapala would be absolutely delighted with this first over. Who would have imagined number 15 off 3 legitimate deliveries, which means there's still 3 balls to go in this over. This is a brilliant start. I think even the backward square leg on the fence there was pretty impressed with those 2 shots. He's marked it as 6 before the umpires even marked it as 6. And he comes one. Stumpy's punched that one to the outfield, and he's been taken. And that's been caught. That's a good catch. I'll tell you what, H, that was absolutely smoked into the cover region. And a sort of a double chance, was it? He fumbled the first time, took it on the second go. We'll have another closer look at that, but well done to Pocano. He went out there with an intent. He's given that a smack, yeah, on the second catch. So that's a really good catch. That was really travelling. So well done to Pocano. He went out there with a purpose. He delivered that purpose, and I tell you what, if that gone 1 metre to the right, that would have been another 4. So 1 for 15 or 4 deliveries. Hopefully his teammates can emulate that, and maybe for a little bit longer. Wow. Woof. Touch of Travis Head in that shot, off the back foot, smack through the covers. Maybe Coney or Wale are anyway. That's more local, isn't it? You guys don't know who Travis Head is. We've got a left-hander coming into bat now. If my calculations are Rupa, it is 2. Number 7. Dorko Rupa, one of the Barras boys. I think that's a big relief for LA now to his coming left arm, right arm around the wicket this time, right arm around the wicket. He's pushed that down the leg side, and we'll just wait for the umpire's call here. We won't speculate. It's a leg by, so he's obviously got to chicken onto his pad with that one. For the right-hander, LA will come right arm over the wicket once more. One for 16, last ball of the over coming up if it's legitimate, and he comes right arm over the wicket. Again, it's slightly short, and this time it's gone straight to the fielder there at deep backward square leg. 1 run. Score moves on to 17. 1 for 17 off the first over. So an expensive over, but the valuable wicket there of Pocano. If he'd stay for 5 or 6 overs, would have been bye-bye baby, that's for sure. He would have set the record straight. 1 for 17. So good intent killer would be really disappointed that he lost Pocano, but then again he's got a batting line up that bats very well down. He's got a lot more batters to come. Gowdy to face here. Bowler is Gal. Hello, Gal. Ruagal. Sorry guys, we're practicing these. We have to learn some new names today, and we've got Now and Gal, so we've got to get our pronunciations right here. Hanawabata boy, and he comes right arm over the wicket. Respectfully played. But that's an interesting call. What's happened here, H? What has happened here? Something's fallen onto the pitch. This is interesting, H. What has happened? So he's dropped something out of his pocket, or well, we'll just go. This is a free hit. That was a no ball. This is a free hit, H. H is with us. So a free hit, in he comes. Right arm over the wicket. He's floated that one up. He's given it a whack over the covers. It is taken, but of course you cannot go out in a free hit. In my calculations, that's 1 run. Is that correct, H? Yep, that is correct. We had the discussion of the free hits yesterday in the office. So there's a few ways you can go out on a free hit. You can be run out, obviously, and the other way, I don't know if H was there when we were discussing it, if you did hit the ball twice, you did a double shot. That's another way of going out. So in that case, he was caught out, but that doesn't stand because that's a free hit. It's a good rule, that double hit, because players would just stop the ball and whack it wherever they like. That would be a crowd pleaser, though, H. It would be a crowd pleaser. Rupa on strike to go. And he comes. Go. Wide out. Now that is a dead set wide. The umpire even conceded that one as a left hand, I think. Beautiful action out there by umpire Awali. Nice wide called. Right arm around the wicket. Bit of in, cut that ball slightly in off the off stump onto the pads, push through for 1 run. This is not the type of start that Coach Ovia would be happy with his bowlers. Looking at 1.2 over, 1 for 21, he would not be happy at all, especially with his team, hoping to go further into this competition and maybe win the whole big prize. So here we go. Can they tighten up? Left outside the off stump. That's the benefit of having such a fiery start, that you can afford to let the good balls go and just wait for them to bowl to you. Arua. Go. Right arm over the wicket. Lucky 14 on his back. In he comes again. That one's outside the off stump, and a windy wolf trying to take that one onto the onside is Gowdy. In he comes once more. Gowdy bowls. Slightly short outside the off stump, punched the point and fielded, and they've taken. They get through for 1 there, H? H says yes, they push through for 1 run. No run? Interesting. Excellent bit of fielding there at forward point there, H. Excellent fielding. Here we go once more. Again, this time over pitch on the onside. That is an absolute blinder. That is a blinder, H. That's been taken at short mid-wicket. I just want to get that bowler, fielder's name, slightly over pitch, well pitched up delivery has been smacked into the onside, and of course we've noticed that the fielding guy there was remarkably short there. That's brilliant captaincy by the captain to have a fielder in that position right there. And that catch is just a bonus for his team. So now the pendulum has swung the other way. H 2 for 21 after we were thinking this game could be all over in 15 overs. Now we're having a top slower ball. I did say over pitched. It was a full toss, but I think the batsman is pointing there. I don't know what he was pointing to. It looked like a clean catch to me, H. Maybe he's saying when he caught it, he threw it up in the air, it dribbled along the ground. But I think in any form of cricket, that was a legitimate catch. Then again, with very strict rules in Test cricket, you have to hold the ball the whole way, H. So let's have a look at the new bowler, Moria, coming into bowl. Rupa on 1, Ray on 0. Left-hander on strike, Rupa on strike. Moria. Hopefully he gets a good all-round performance here. He did bat well. He supported it, left arm, right arm over the wicket, and punched onto the offside, through the field, and an easy run. Brings Ray onto strike. Boy, oh Ray, H is smiling, both a Barra and a Parry boy. Oh, it's called the trifecta. He's got it all. He's got it all going for a good friend of H's here. I think tall, angular man. A good all-round performer. He's a cousin to H, he is. Let's see how he goes. Right arm over the wicket is Moria. Came across and very, very, very well played by Ray. Saw that like a pumpkin he did. Here he comes once more. Moria in. Quicker ball, pushes him onto the back foot, punches it just behind. Oops, a misfield there, but only a run. Worth the effort of trying to get the run out there. Tacking the ball well. So that gets Ray off the mark. He's on 1. Cooper on 2 from 3. Time now to build a bit of an innings here. The left-hander on strike. So Moria comes around the wicket, right arm around the wicket, off spin. And he comes. Floats that one up. Punts again through the covers. This time it's speed field. And it's gone out for, hopefully in their case, 2 runs. It has. Going to ask a dumb question, H. Is Ray related to our bus driver, Ray?
No.
He isn't related. I know it's a different spelling. I was just hopeful. Here comes right arm over the wicket. Good line, good length, no run. Again, we stress in these first 6 overs they are vital for the batting team to bat aggressively, because you have only the couple of players out on the boundary, 2 players out on the boundary, everyone in the inner field. And once again he's gone across the line there. That should get thrown. No, well designed field there, deep mid on. And they push through quickly again. It should be over by my calculations. Let's work out the run rate after this. 1 run off the last ball, so we're 2 for 26 off 3. So we're looking at a pretty significant run rate there, aren't we? Only 7 or 8 runs per over. I don't think they can maintain that though. If I can't have been out there a few more, it certainly would have been the case. Tom coming into bowl. His first over. Can't see it. Bowling to the left-hander Rupa. Right arm around the wicket. Nice one first up. Hit the spot. Corridor of uncertainty. Right on off stump. Going to hit the top of off stump. Or maybe the bail. Still not as quick as his wife. Back to honey any day of the week. T, I hope you're listening there in the box. I've seen you bowl. You're definitely quicker than your husband. Definitely quicker than your husband. Nicer action too, actually. Laconic action of T. Oops. I think I put her husband off there. He's stuttered in his rudder. I think T would be pretty nervous there. Punch through the covers again, beautifully fielded. Who's that bloke there, H? What's his name? Can't see the back of his shirt. Is that Lega? I'll tell you what, that's a captain's effort, that one. Did he take the catch as well?
No.
He wasn't. I'm trying to find out who took that catch.
The 2 catches are from Nelson Martin.
Nelson, was it? Tell you what, Nelson. Man of the match for fielding, I reckon. Disappointed from the keeper there. Again, we talk about that ball that goes to backward point when it's hit off the edge. It does funny stuff. As a physics and science teacher, I want to do a thesis on what happens when the ball's hit the backward point off the edge of the bat and hits some soft turf, and what it actually does. It is impossible to anticipate how much break it will have on it, and it's left many a person red-faced. I think at this moment we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 2, 4, 6 on the offside, 5 on the onside. In this form of cricket, of course, you're only ever allowed to have 5 on the onside. It stops teams from trying to control things with 7 or 8 players on the onside, makes for boring cricket. So again, pushed backward of point for 1 run, now through the gully for 1 run. Looking at Boyo, looks like he's got a bit of power and he wants to. Can he unleash H? He can unleash, he can. I think he's just playing his cards very conservative. Right arm around the wicket, in swing delivery, onto the pads, push to mid-on, 1 easy run. Once you get a flying start like they did in over 1, it's easy to be conservative for a few overs now. 2 for 29 off 3.5. Slight edge on that one. You can tell he's disappointed. The keeper's taken that one, that little outswinger there, and Boyo out for 2, disappointed. And now 3 for 29 at the end of the 4th over. So you're looking at around about still a run rate of 7 runs per over. So they've got the run rate all right, but the fact is they're losing wickets, which is very concerning. Hopefully they can consolidate here, build an innings and push towards victory towards the end. Tom 1 for 3. He's moving the ball around a little bit now, isn't he, H? I think his wife taught him that little outswinger. That's definitely one of Tahani's specials. Just a flick of the wrist, get a little bit of movement off the pitch and through the humid air here at Amini Park. It is still sticky out there, even though we don't have any clouds. We did have a few inches of rain early in the week, and that of course is evaporating at the moment in the sunshine and makes for humid conditions. Uri Vargi into bat now. Rupa should not be on strike. I'm just going to get this right. Change of over, of course, guys, with Robin coming into bowl now. Right arm around the wicket, bowling to Rupa, wishes to point, slight misfield. Ware Robin, right arm around the wicket. It's his first over. Hurry boy again. By my calculations, H is smiling. Right arm around the wicket. Oh, that one got a bit of bounce. He's got underneath it. Punched that one through point, and he smacked that for 4. Rupa punch through the covers, well fielded, no run. We don't have a lot of information about his performances with the Burrows, but he's looking very impressive at the moment, Docker. We know he's from Lay originally, is that correct? I spent a fair bit of time in Port Moresby though with the Burrows, so very good start. 11 runs from 13 deliveries. Just what the doctor ordered. Full pitch ball on off stump and a play and a miss. Barre Robbins, so we've got Barra to a Barra, a Pare to a Layboy, and they come once again. This time slightly shorter, a bit of bounce once more. Some for a whippy action, he's got a lovely little bit of bounce coming out there, Hayes. Have you faced him before, Ware? hasn't faced him, but I like it. It's obviously, that's the one he rolls the fingers along the seam, a little bit like a very quick off break. That is a really, really good over. Did go for the 4 runs, but then we have a ... Lucky it's not a Creo cricket game there, H. It would have been a wicket there. So many dots in a row. If you don't know about Creo cricket, guys, get down here. In a couple of weeks' time, there'll be a Creo carnival happening here on the Sunday after when our Cassowaries play Indonesia in an under-19s 2020 competition. We've got a massive day that the guys are preparing here at Amini Park with the newest form of the game, Creo cricket. I tell you what, you think this is exciting. Creo cricket, 6 overs, no limits, and it's an action-packed game that you could just really, really enjoy all over in about an hour. So come down and watch our juniors from around Port Moresby playing Creo cricket here. 4 games on the 1 oval. We have Tom coming in, figures of 1 for 3 off 1. Right arm around the wicket and bowling to Vuivagi. The umpire had a good look at that one, but I agree with the umpire, you can't call that a wide. Even though batsmen always want it called wide, we have little lines on the crease for a reason, don't we, hey? They're to help the umpire, and it's within those 2 parallel lines, and it's not a wide. So again, this one's pushed a leg, a diving attempt, couldn't quite get there. They're going to come back for 2 easy runs, pushed on the onside that time. All these runs are helping. Vuivagi moves on 2-2. Off the mark. It's a big relief for him. Tom. Right arm around the wicket. Conservative approach. Again, pushes onto the legs but straightens it up onto off and middle stump. In this form of the game, one of the few forms of the game where you celebrate dot balls, isn't it? Eh? People clap when you get that dot ball. With the fielding especially, we're now at 5.3. He's only got 3 deliveries to go, and then you can get extra fielders out to restrict the batters on the boundaries. So with this power play, only 2 balls to go. It'll be interesting to see what Rupa does and Vuivagi actually do. Will he still be conservative? They know got that 3 for 35. That's still 6 runs per over, and that's okay. That's okay for what they have to chase. They come once more, right outside the off stump, punch through the covers. That's a lovely shot, glorious shot, and it is no. You can still see the outfield still a bit soggy out there. They're looking for 3, they're going for 3, and they're getting their 3. Good cricket, lovely shot, slightly over pitched outside off stump, punch through the covers, 3 runs. Delivery to go in this over. Scorer is just still checking. Here comes Tom. Slightly shorter this time and on the onside and straight to the short mid wicket, no run. And that is over, and that is the end of the first power play. 6 overs, 3 for 38, looking at 6.1 runs per over. That is pretty good. Now have a look at our worm. You can see what I mean just by that. The only problem is we have that cluster of 3 wickets. So I would be thinking that the talk amongst the 2 batters out there is, let's just consolidate now to the 10th over. Try to get to around about maybe 60 at the end of the 10th. And see if we can push there to lose too many more wickets. I don't think it's wise to lose. We don't want to be 5 for 60, we want to be 3 for 60 after the 10. So 4 overs to go. Let's just make a partnership here, consolidate things, rotate the strike. Especially now you've got extra fielders out, there's bigger gaps in the inner field especially. Let's try and do a bit of running here, test our fitness out. I know that Tim's been really pushing the guys hard to improve fitness, both in the men's program, the girls program, and of course the junior program as well. In around the wicket right arm we have Maria coming in to bowl. Like all bowlers, very desperate against his own bowling and only saves it for 1 run. Saves it down to 1 run, so well done. Maria looking for man of the match on his here. He bowls well, he batted well as well. This time bowling to Rupa, 11 from 17, right arm off spin around the wicket. Rupa's got underneath that one to a certain degree, but it's dropped short of the outer fieldsman at deep mid on, and it's only one run. Beautiful throw. Louis Varghese on strike, 6 from 4. The left-hander. Will he go the big hoik? Pushes it on the onside. Brilliant fielding once more. We've got a run out here. We have a run out here. That's inexcusable, H. What were they thinking? That is terrible. So, Louis Varghese called yes. Rupa was not going to move because he saw the bowler moving very quickly towards the ball, just like a previous delivery. And of course that confusion came from the previous delivery, that it was so close to the ball when it was actually struck that it wasn't really a run in there. So a misunderstanding. Maybe they would have made it, but I just hope it doesn't. Here we go from the other end. We push 2 down the one end, and that's the bowler's wicket in that occasion. Beautifully fielding. 4 for 40 now, and that's a disaster. Rupert's got to go on with it now, doesn't he, H? We hope he's there at the end. They are coming into bat. Chetam Gaya. We have the man, is he from Popondetta? Is he the Popondetta man? We have got the guy from Pop. So an Oro Bay boy coming into bat at the fall of that wicket. 4 for 40. Moria coming in. Pushes that one. The boy from Pop's got underneath that one, high into the air, and unfortunately that one's dropped in the outfield, and 1 run. Wicket was a disaster. That's the last thing they wanted, H. Goodness gracious me. Then again, excellent fielding from Moria. That's what you have to do if you're own bowling in this form of the game. Any form of the game, you have to be desperate, and he was, and that caused the confusion. Right arm around the wicket. Left-hander on strike, Rupa. That's down the leg side. He's got onto it though. Maybe chance. Not going to risk 2 run outs in the 1 over. So we'll push through the off break. A little bit shorter, a bit more bounce, and no run. My call is over. Wicket off that one, 3 runs. The wicket came from a run out, and let's have a look at the scorecard there. So far we've got a total of 4 wickets from the 7 overs for 41 runs off 43 balls. So looking at a runner ball, and that run rate still is very good in terms of what we're chasing, but unfortunately the 4 wickets levels the playing field. We looked at the intent of Gaya when he came out to bat. I don't think he's going to be poking around too much. He's got Gower bowling to him. Right arm over the wicket. And he looked like his intent was aggression. And he comes, right arm over the wicket. Yep. And that one's gone through mid-wicket. Again, a very nifty fielder out there, 1 run. With good intent from Gaya. Coming around the wicket to the left-hander, which has been par for the course today. A lot of the right-hand bowlers have come around the wicket to the left-hander. And having a look at your pitch, possibly on the leg and straight up. Let's have a look how he goes. In it comes. Slightly down leg stump that time, but it's off the pad and an easy run. He's called it a wide. Obviously no touch of the pad there. A wide. Gaia on strike now. Gal to bowl. Right arm over the wicket to the right hander. Once more. He's gone up for the LBW there. The umpire had a good look right across the line, but the bowler didn't seem overly enthusiastic as the keeper was. Dot ball. We know what Gaia's intent here. This is either going to be a long hit or it could be clean nutted. H is going clean nutted. I'm going he's going to get hold of this one. He's going whack once more. This time it's split the field, and as per usual, I've outdone H. This has gone for 4 runs. Just what the doctor ordered. Yep. Just it had that hit me on that length, wasn't it, eh? Could have gone through the covers, but he went right through mid-wicket. That's a cow corner shot if ever I've seen one. In he comes once more. Gow to Gow. Once more he's had a big, heavy, windy woof. Not sure where we've gone. He's gone for the 2 runs. Has it come off the pad? Has it been a bit of bat? Let's see what the umpire calls. He's called. Nice. Or did he get a touch on that one, H? Must have touched it. He's paid it as runs. Here we come. We thought that might be the case, so we'll both write that over, H. He's either going to hit it for 4, he's going to get nutted. But good luck to the lad. He looked like he was having fun out there. He looked like he was dressed for a one-day game in the streets over there in Popondetta somewhere. I reckon he's saying, if I'm going to go down swinging. That's what he did. He got the old black pads with the black pants. He looked like, yep, maybe a game of Boona or Gona or Sanananda somewhere there in Oro province. Oro Bay itself, a beautiful part of the world. Well done, young fella. Nothing to chance. A good Yorker got underneath it there. Experienced bowler. Ruagao from Hanawabata pushing his case. 2 for 13 off 1.5. Take those figures in a one-day game and 2020 game any day of the week, H. And chance for another one with Now on strike now. Towel now on strike. Takes centre. Lots of power experience here as well. Hanawabata boy. I think he'll be conservative for a couple overs. 5 for 50 or 7.5. Gal comes into bowl. Push to point. No run. End of the over, guys. Let's have a look at what we've got on our scorecard. Extras are 8, overs are 8, 5 for 50, and there's our bowling figures just there. Looking at the front here, we've got 8 overs, 5 for 50. Of course, so we've got 5 wickets in hand with 12 overs in hand as well. Rupa is the mainstay now, but we know now can bat a bit. We've got a couple of other batters who can really hold up the end as well. This game is far from over. Still a run rate of over 6 per over. Moria comes in. Onto the onside. Deep mid-wicket. 1 run. Rings now onto strike. Moria comes over the wicket to the right-hander. Now takes his time. Takes strike. Surveys the field. And knows what's expected of him, I'm sure. Moria, right arm over the wicket. As he stopped delivery there, a little off break, pushed on the onside, only 1 run. And this is a good conservative cricket. H and I were talking about in the break. We're saying don't have to do anything stupid. It's not a massive score. Play cricket shots. That one's off the back foot. That's a lovely shot. Through the covers, 1 run. This is excellent cricket, excellent batting, and good bowling, of course. Moria building a picket fence here. Once more, this time to Noel. Quarter pushed up, but pushed to mid. On. An easy run. Right up around the wicket to the lefty. Off the back foot. Found the gap on that occasion. They'll push through for 2 runs on this delivery. And that's exactly the case. That spoiled our picket fence there, H. So we got 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. And see what we get off. And that's all they have to do, H. If they get 1 off this last delivery, that's 7 off the over. And if they keep that going, they're going to get the runs easily. Okay, this time slightly quicker. No run. And that's over. Well bowled, Mr. Moria. 3 overs, none for 14. I'm sure these 2 batters, Rupa especially, and now they've been doing their cricket numeracy, H. I'm sure they've done it because they've worked out what the equation is. And the equation is pretty simple. You don't have to do anything stupid. With the field out now, there's lots of gaps in the field. The outfield's picking up in pace. The bowling's good, but it's not electric. There's runs there if they want it. Kelly coming into bowl his first over. Right arm over the wicket to the right hand batsman now. And he comes. Right arm over the wicket. Short, wide, and within those tram tracks, so that's not a wide, H. H is just about getting his arms out there to give one for the fit central guy first up, call him a wide. That is not a wide. Well umpired again. In he comes Kelly. It's gone slightly outside the off stump, or wide outside off stump. I'm not sure if there's an edge on that, but it's 1 run. And it was a little tickle, H. It was a little tickle there. This time to the left hand. It'll be interesting to see what Kelly does. Yes, he's coming right arm around the wicket. Central Province. Big chance to showcase his skills. And he comes right arm around the wicket. Puts it right on off stump. He'd be happy with that one. Dot ball. What a great opportunity for all these local guys or guys from around the country to be able to play with the Barrows over a whole week and a half of cricket. Train with them, learn from them, talk to them, be part of it. That one was wide, called a wide, and that's an extra run and an extra delivery. Kelly, right arm around the wicket, medium pace at best. That one's onto the leg side, pushed around the corner, easy run. Good positive cricket here from the guys. Rupa, a lot of experience in both formats of the game. Now younger, but of course learning from the veterans in his squad. Kelly, right arm over. That's an up and under. What they're hoping for is a bit of luck, and unfortunately that luck doesn't come. That's a great catch. I can see by everyone running over to him so quickly where you realise, hey, that's an important catch. It brings it to 6 of 60 odd, but that's a very difficult catch, high up in the air, running away from where the ball's travelling. So he didn't panic, he got himself steadied underneath the ball, and that's the another wicket. Yeah, got away from it a little bit, but that was a lovely clean catch. You caught that one, H? Yeah?
That was Nelson.
That was Nelson, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nelson Patel. He's the one who took the other catch too. That's 2 rippers. I tell you what, I'm not sure if they have man of the match awards or anything, but sometimes it goes to a fielder. That's 2 catches that really changed the match. The pendulum had swung at 10 overs, H. The pendulum has swung. The Cassowaries now well on top. getting into the tail now, and it's going to be difficult for those last 4 odd batsmen to get the last 60 odd runs that'll get them to victory. So funnier things are happening in 2020, but maybe not today. H goes for some more biscuits. He's gone for the shortbreads, and he's taken a couple out for H outside. And we're very happy because they're the ones that brought the ants in last time, so very happy that they haven't attracted the ants. Maybe the ants all drowned on Monday and Tuesday, I think, H, so that might have been the case. We'll have a short break and be back for the last bit of this game in about 5 minutes. Right. Drinks are leaving the field, crowd dispersing around here, and I'm sure the discussion in there, we look at the worm, but the unfortunate bit of the worm are the spots on the worm. Mudmen well in front in terms of run rate, but 6 wickets down for around about 60 runs, you're in a bit of strife. But we know Rico's in now, he can bat a bit, and while Rupert's still there, there's still life. Kelly, pretty wrapped with his first wicket here today, the central lad. He's got 1 for 3 off 0.5 deliveries, last ball of the over, or single the 10 over mark, halfway mark, 10 overs to go, 60 odd runs to win. We've got a game on our hands, and he comes right arm over, round the wicket, wishes that down leg side, masterfully played, just backward a square, 1 run. Well done to the youngster, he's pretty wrapped with that. 1 wide one, but the rest of the over was very, very neat. Interesting, we were never encouraged to come right arm around the wicket, but it's part and parcel of the 2020 game these days to cramp them up. Or to pitch one on and straighten it up, and well done. Always found it hard, I'm not sure why H is a leg spinner, but if I tried to bowl right arm around the wicket, running on the crease was a problem for me, running on the wicket. Found it hard to get off with my action, so these guys are very well trained these days to bowl both over and under the over and around the wicket. Moria bowling his next over, the flighted one. Okay, a lot of variety. Right arm around the wicket. Floated once more, pushed on the onside to his favourite fielding position, and they were hesitant to start their H. We know why they were hesitant after the run out. Rocco Motors, Isuzu 2020 Big Bash. He comes right up around the wicket. Quicker one, slightly shorter. Hunched cover, extra cover, 1 run. Pushed on the onside this time, looking for 2, going for 2, and 2. Good wicket. Varghese and a Wabada boy. And his skills on the streets. This time that's one is pusher, slightly shorter. Just a backward point, they're running. Ooh. That is by Malkit's ball, 1 run off the last ball of the over, and that's the type of over they still need to do. They don't need to do anything silly just yet. 5 runs off the getting there, chipping away. There's Manhattan, the comparative ones at this stage of proceeding. Never quite a good look at that, but a really good indicator. Discussion. I think the helmet's coming on with a medium pacer. Good chance to have a chat. Kariko on 5 off 6, Rupa on 18 off 27. I may be talking about partnerships. That would be the discussion. Let's push towards 70 runs. Let's get 70 by the end of the 13th or 14th over and make a charge from there. Left-hander on strike, right arm around the wicket. So keeper sets up, wicket, helmet behind him, in he comes. Right arm around the wicket to the left-hander. Will flayed through the covers or through point, 1 run. Rupa on strike, 18 from 27, looks to the onside, looks to the offside, looks to the onside, takes his block, now in. Well pitched up, slightly uppish but through point or backward point for 1 run. Experienced couple of barrows here at the moment. Boys. That is a cork H. That's an absolute blinder, and the batsman going, well, what can I do about that? That's pitched, and it's actually taken outside the off. Don't you wish we could have another look at that? Because the batsman's just shaking his head. Have a look. It's pitched towards that has gone like a shame-worn leggy. That's gone. Oh my goodness! It's not a leggy. He covered right over the top of that one, H, didn't he, hey? That's ball of the day from now. That is ball of the day. Still shaking his head, he can't believe it. Kariko on strike. LA in. If again, the ball 2 deliveries ago has got them thinking big time now. That is beautiful bowling here. That is a ripper. He deserves better than that for 1 for 18, H. He really does. He deserves better than 1 for 18. And he's drawing it back now. Here we go once more. Last ball of the over. That one slightly over pitched, off stump, still a bit of movement out there, so an in swinger to the right hander, out swinger to the lefty. That's a really good over, well bowled. So score check here, we have 6 for 67 off 12 overs. This time we have a look at our wormless dipping. So when you look at the wickets falling, it's not that big a difference. We've got 6 for v 4 for, but there was a big partnership there. Remember the partnership there between Mora and of course Legasiaka. This time we have Terry coming into bowl. Offies. Pushed onto the leg, easy run on the onside. George Terry's first delivery in this series. He's from Lay, made the big journey over, and very excited to be here, I'm sure. Once more over pitched by the Cassowaries offie, pushed out onto the onside for 1 run. Getting long length right, bowling now this time to the right hander. Left-hander actually. We have got Rupa on strike, taking his block. Terry into bowl, uses his run up. Lefty takes strike. Rupa knows the equation, he knows the maths, he knows what he's got to do. Again we have a hesitation here. I'm not sure if it's the bowler or the batter or the fielder. Maybe in this case it's the fieldsman. Terry, right arm over. On the old leg stump, no chance for an LBW there. That pitched outside the line. that spot again. Can he control it? Right arm over the wicket. This one is a rank full toss. It's been called a no ball. It's been smacked to deep cover for one. And that gives a free hit to Karako. Is going to get the free hit here. Am I right there, H? Yeah, it is. Karako is going to get the free hit. Remembering, don't get run out, fella. Don't hit the ball twice. There's no other way you can go out from those two, apart from those two. So here we come. This time he's gone for a big windy wolf. No run. And he's disappointed, but that's how that free hit goes. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. That's a don't. Right arm. Slightly shorter this time, pushes onto the offside, easy single. They won't do anything silly there. And we've got another run. Rooper on strike. Pushes onto the offside this time, slightly up-ish. Will they go for two? Yes, they will, and they make it easily. Good cricket, good running. My calculations, that should be over, and we'll get our score check at the 13 over mark. 7 runs off that over, 6 for 74 off 13 overs. And we'll look at our scorecard this time. 80 deliveries, 74 runs, so just pushing up to a run a delivery. Remember, if they run per delivery, that will bring up to a score that will get them a victory. So they're not too far off the mark at all. Just keep those wickets in hand. 4 wickets, can't afford to lose one for the next 3 overs. H freezing here at the MCG. It's getting a bit brisk in the box with the aircon blowing on us. You'll need a snooze in a minute, great man. Been a long day. Get him another. He gave one of his drinks away. I'm going to advertise something I shouldn't. We only advertise Morocco Motors, Isuzu here, and all the other great sponsors of Cricket PNG. We'll get to them later. But thank you to the guys that sponsor this. I'm going to baffle H after this delivery. I'm going to baffle him with some amazing facts. I like looking up facts. Robin coming into bowl. 1 for 4 off his first over. Right arm around the wicket to the lefty. Over pitches on leg. He's punched that one again just to backward square leg, and they've jogged through for. Oh no, I think we haven't. Have we? If we've got a run out, we have. We have a run out. They were going for it. They took the risk, but a brilliant bit of fielding. And that has led to a disaster. Now we have 7 for 74 on. Might be 7 for 75. The umpire didn't hesitate with that. That looked very much out with the naked eye. H is working out who the fielder was out there, but that was a splendid bit of fielding, H. Splendid bit of fielding. Got the ball in like a tracer bullet, straight back. Have a look again. Looking at the field, he's attacked the ball brilliantly. Clean pick up to the keeper, and you can see the actual batter was airborne when those bails were taken off. That is a brilliant. That is Test cricket style fielding, that H. That is fielding at the highest level. The big bash, whatever you want to call it around the world, that is a brilliant bit of fielding. Did you pick it up who it was? We're still trying to pick up the fielder, guys. We'll find that out for you later on. It was Legger again, I tell you what. Legger is having a blinder. He's having a great day out there today. I think he pooped after batting for so long, but no, not the case. Wara coming into bat now. It's Richard, isn't it? Another lay boy. He'd be pretty excited. Takes centre and centre. Maybe taking off another centre and centre. Robin has a run out of the first ball. That adds to his chances of really pinning them down for the rest of the over. Having a new batter out there. Wicket first ball. But we still have Rupert there. So while Rupert's there, we've got a chance. Looks for a run. I think 2 run outs for an innings is enough for the the Mudmen at this stage. What will his mindset be for this over? Just see it out, push for a single. I know the field's come in slightly for the new batter. They're on the attack now. The Cassowaries are on the attack. There's an appeal for caught behind. He's edged that one and that's out. Oh my goodness, the disaster gets even more intense the moment, H. It's a run out leads to a second wicket, and that's often the case, isn't it? A new batsman at the crease. So unfortunately for Quara, that's a duck, and that brings 2 wickets for young Robin. Let's have a look at this again. We didn't see it. So we're now sitting on 8 for 78. We need something special here. Rupa especially has to take control. With Tata coming into bat, he really needs to take control now. He'd be saying to his partner now, just hang in there, let me do the scoring and let's bat out these 20 overs. We've still got a lot of overs to bat. The longer we stay out there, the better chance we've got getting close to this total, because run rates are important as well. So let's have a look. Right arm over the wicket. You can see that little tickle there to the keeper. And he's disappointed with himself, but there it goes. Left-hander now, again another run-out chance. Not this time. Rupa needs to know the capabilities of his batting partner too, doesn't he, hey? Franco in the Barrows list, the Hanabata boy, is that correct, H? Yeah. So a fair bit of experience here. They've been through these scenarios before. But 3 deep on the onside, 1 actually at fine leg moving into the circle. Deep mid on, deep mid off, deep mid wicket. And Robin coming right arm around the wicket, 1 for 6 off his 1.4 overs. Pushes that one onto the leg stump. No risk at this stage of proceedings from Rupa. You can see how quickly the bowlers try and get back to the mark. We know there are time limits on this game as well. That's part of the rules. You've got to get your overs done in a certain amount of time. And there's always urgency in this game too. Right arm around the wicket, again pushing it onto leg stump and block back to the bowler. That's a fine over. Run out in that over, plus the caught behind, 2 wickets for only 1 run, and that's a gem of an over. So there's our scorecard for the actual bowlers, and they've all done their job, and it's good to see so many bowlers getting a shot too, so well done to the captains. Lega giving his Cassowaries a whole taste of this competition, which is really, really important. That's why H and I loves Creo cricket, don't we? H, every kid gets to bowl, every kid gets to bat, every kid gets to see it field in different spots. It's the ultimate game. So Terry coming in for his second over. Right arm over. He's hesitant again. He's obviously pretty nervous. Being out there. George from Lay. Tall, angular figure. Bit of Gower Tom in that action there, mate. Pushes it to covers, no run. Frankie facing up. A bit more flight on that one. Push to the offside. Easy run to mid off. I'm sure Rupa would be talking to Tata and saying, let's get to the 20 over mark. Let's push it out. See what happens. See what eventuates if we're there for the next 30 odd deliveries. Laconic. Slightly shorter, slightly quicker. Push to the offside. No run. Right arm over the wicket. Windy Wolf got a bit of onto that one, the fielder at mid-on, or mid-wicket, 1 run. This brings Tutara back on strike. Frank looking as if he's enjoying himself out there, the left-hander. I wonder what he's got up his sleeve as far as big hits are concerned, because I reckon Terry's the one to have a crack at H. I reckon Terry's the one to have a crack. I'd have to go that one, yeah, through the covers. That's a lovely shot, actually. 2 runs, easy 2. Frank looked like he's no mug with a bat, H. It looks like he's done a bit of batting these days. Looked very comfortable seeing bit of Maharu in that action of his too, eh? It could be, it's not, is it? It's not him in disguise. I've dressed him up. He's become a Cassowary. Oh, I hope this is a big taped H. We'll be in big trouble. H has actually bought a new set of glasses, everyone. I don't know where he's got them from. Didn't even know he wore glasses. I think sunglasses, I think. He's got the shades on so he can see better his TV screen. So go through the score. 8 for 80, guys. 15 down. Runs to win 37 off 30. Very, very achievable. Very achievable. But the big problem is only the 2 wickets in hand. So these guys are going to do it. So again, we talked to H is involved in the maths project we have here with Cricket PNG, maths numeracy, or cricket numeracy, and working out calculations is really, really important in all forms of cricket. So with now coming right arm around the wicket, 2 for 18, and Rupert's had a big high woof at that one. It's high into the air but safe. When it hits the ground it stops, and they've gone through for 2. Funny because it's not really necessary, is it, to have Windy Wolf on the onside at this stage. There's so many gaps out there. I'd be looking for 2s. But then again, when you get out there, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it, H? Hey, you're trying to think of all these things through. Well pitched up ball. I'll have a crack at this one. Probably better to hit it straight though if he gets the chance to hit it straight. In he comes. Now, push this time into the covers, and they've zipped through for 1. 3 runs off the first 2 balls. All they need to do now is get to 2 or 3 more runs for this over, and the pressure starts to swing once more. Tutara sucking in the big one. He said, "This is hard yakka." That's what Coach McCaskill has been telling them. You know, we've got to get really fit for this form of the game. Once again, now into bowl, slightly slower, slightly shorter. Pushed him onto the no foot. He was just basically just standing there and just played it lamely into the ground, into the pitch, off into the point region. Right arm around the wicket. Again, pushed onto the offside. Beautiful placement, 1 run. Great to see the equation down the bottom there. H is doing all this. 26 balls remaining, 33 runs to win. Hopefully that message is getting out to the batters as well. They would know their maths. They'd know how to manipulate an innings. This time it's Rupert on strike. Now into bowl. Push onto the offside once more, no run. One delivery to go in this over. 15.5 deliveries bowled, 15 overs and 5 extras. This is the last ball, which brings us up to 16 overs. That was a sort of slower one that seemed off the pitch a little bit. No wicket, no run, and that's the end of the over. Our worm tells a story. Have a look at that first over. We were zooming up 17 runs off the first, and it's been a rapid decline followed by a gradual decline since then. It's all to do with wickets, and we dream what would have happened if Bocana had stayed there, hey? He only needed about 4 more overs with classic catches win matches, H. Classic catches win matches. We look at when I was growing up, H, and Test cricket back in the 60s and 70s. A lot of these fielders out here are better fielders than the Test cricketers for Australia and England back then. And that's not just me dreaming, that is the truth. These guys train is just as hard, their fielding drills are better, and they're more desperate because this is the style of the game. Terry into bowl, right arm laconic, push down to the offside, slight misfield but no run. Terry, a short laconic run. This one's over pitched, floated, and that little bit of tentativeness from Tatara missed the ball and there's no run. Terry, right arm over, slightly shorter, saw him moving down the pitch, pushed it through a bit quicker, no run. Strange noises outside at the moment, guys. I'm not sure of the wind or H2O out there is getting a bit restless. This one's pushed up well. Blocked out there at the end by Tutara. Sort of a Yorker length that one, or a Yorker himself, but he tried to move down the pitch once more. Terry slightly down the leg side this time. It's whipped around on the onside through square leg and they rush through for 1 run. With Rupa facing the last ball of this over, it'll be interesting what he does. Will he go for a 4-shot, or will he give Tutara the strike to start off the next over? Maybe have it a crack at it then at 16.5. This will bring it up to 17 overs down, 8 for 85. Slightly short, hit through the covers. Again, pretty well fielded, and they've rushed through for 1. Another thing, the running between the wickets have improved over the years at all standards of cricket around the world. In the olden days, a misfield like that, we had the saying, don't run on a misfield. No one would have run back when I was a kid back then, but these days you take the risk. If you're firm in your calls, yes, let's go. 90% of the time you'll get there. So let's check 17 overs down, 8 for 86. Runs to win 31 off 18 deliveries, so that part of the equation is getting more difficult. 3 overs to go, 31 runs to win. That is still very gettable in this form of the game. You can see Rupa surveying the field. He's looked on the onside there, so anything slightly on the leg stump or even on middle, I'm sure he's going to have a crack at it in this over. Tatura gets his gloves ready. In comes Robin, 2 for 6. That's a wide outside the off stump and the umpires call it. That's a fair enough call. I'm sure the captain said to young Robin, you know, keep it on off stump, don't give him a free hit on the legs, and of course you overcompensate there, especially when the ball's moving around like it is at the moment, and that's the end case. And he comes once more, this one closer to the off stump, and pushed easily out for 1 run to point. H is getting a bit edgy here, guys. He can see a game when he's handy. He knows if they've still got 2 wickets in hand and these 2 guys are out there, we still have a game on our hands, H, and that's what we want. We want a game on our hands. If Tutara can get onto a couple here, guy, we have really got a game on our hands. Here he comes, right arm around the wicket. Tutara's up and around, pushes it just, I don't know how it ended up there, H. That's a definite boy shot, that one. The great personalities of cricket, PNG. Boy, you're in the office. We'll have to go and have a hit ourselves sometimes. We pretend we're pretty good, because we are. no hesitation, one runner looking for two, nothing there, well backed up. The adrenaline be flowing in all the fielders at this stage, I know. The fielding's going to be the key factor in this match. 28 runs, 27 now of 15, very gettable. Pushing up to nearly 2 runs a ball now, which is a harder task. It only takes a couple to get through the field, and that equation will really come. Here he comes around the wicket. He's leant back on that one, pushes the covers, and they've got through for 1. Game day scenarios here, guys. We now got 15 balls. We got 27 runs to win. It's getting exciting. The last 2 overs are going to be classics. H starting to move around here. All those biscuits and V's are kicking in. He's getting excited. What we need is a 6 H or a 4. And he comes. Robin right up around the wicket. Rooper facing. Oh, that's a clever delivery. Just a change of pace, subtle change of pace, not much bounce. And he was through his shot before the ball had even got to him there. Warre Robin. A proud Pare man. Guile. Will to win. He comes on the leg stump. He's got underneath that one. That's the one he was hoping for, but it's only got 1 run, unfortunately. And that's an over that young Robin can be proud of. Warre. Picket fence. 5 runs off the over plus the wide. That's very, very, very nice in this situation. He'd be very happy with that. And the worm has finally turned so that the mighty Mudmen are now chasing that worm up the last part of the hill. Can they get there? Rooper on strike, 31 off 45. He knows he's got to up the ante now. He's got 12 deliveries, 25 runs. And doing the maths on that, there has to be a couple of boundaries to sort of level it up. You're not going to hit 12 twos. It's just about impossible with so many fielders out. So let's see, he's stuck with Terry, which is interesting. That's good captaincy. He's give the kid a crack. And he comes right on, laconic over the wicket, outside the off stump. He slayed that one through the covers. And that is just beautiful. That is poetry. Who is that fielder out there, HA? Hey, well done. A team have all come up to him. It's funny, it's usually with wickets, isn't it, hey? Off he goes. That is a ripper. So you look at this, H, you see the difference between the 2 teams. It's been one thing. It's been the fielding, hasn't it? And that's not knocking the fielding of the Mudmen. That was fine, but that's exceptional. That is exceptional. I might take the highlights here and show it to the English team, eh? Have a look at this again. My goodness me. You see them all come from everywhere, don't they? Hey? So, bad luck, mate. That's just bad luck. Bara, number 10, number 11 batsman, who is now the main man. And he'd be saying, get me down the other end. That's what he's saying. Get me down the other end. I'll have another crack. So Terry's got 1 for 13 now, but he can thank the fielder for that. That's an absolute blinder. Over pitched, pushed onto the offside. 1 run easy. Tell you what, it's been a great morning though, H. We've been looking forward to this all week. We've been stuck in the office doing stuff towards Creo Cricket and a new app that we've designed. But we've been chafing at the bit to get out there and call some cricket and watch some cricket and be part of it as we are today. So thank you for the opportunity, Cricket PNG, for us to be involved. With Terry coming into bowl, slightly quicker, pushed on the onside, a yes, a no, a wait, and a run. George thinking to himself, it's worth the trip, isn't it? I've got to have a bat, I've got to have a bowl. I've got to be part of this fantastic tournament. So thank you Isuzu for putting this on for us, Baraka Motors Isuzu. This this time. Punch through the point region. Will they look for 2? I think they will, and they get back easily. Now you look at history. I love history. In I think it was in 1916, Isuzu was created as a automobile company in Japan, and you're looking about 110 years later, and it's still going stronger than ever. Punch back to the bowler on that occasion, 1 run. Isuzu, of course, being a Japanese word meaning the river flows on, and that's the motto of their company. They do flow on, don't they, Hates? They're all around the world now. Originally they had automobiles, so they had 4-seater cars, but now famous for their trucks, their diesel engines. The official name Isuzu was taken up in the 1940s, I think, but the first company to have air-cooled diesel engines, which is a revelation in its day too. So really after the war they established themselves as one of the world's great companies for diesel trucks and vehicles. And that motto, the river flows on, is certainly helping cricket PNG, that's for sure, because we hope they flow on with us for another 116 years, because with your support, guys, Baroko Motors, Isuzu, you're just making this game grow and grow and grow. And it's quite poetic, really, because we know Japan now is building as a country with very strong cricket foundations, good teams in all levels, women's, men's. Here we come once more, now to bowl, facing his Vara. It's so much so that the ICC cricket conference is held. So that's the end of proceedings, H. Last wicket falls. Bit hard to see there, guys. We missed that last one. We thought it actually fallen down his feet, so we apologise. There wasn't much reaction from the bowler either. I'd be up and about. I know it's only the number 11 batter, but still, I thought he just missed it and gone through. So, as we said again, we missed that one. We need a clearer screen here, but we'll take that. So, a good, entertaining game. All out for 97, and it's interesting because when we first got into the box this morning, we said a score of around about 100 would be a very competitive total. But go back to Legger's batting, of course, Molia supporting him. That was the innings that really separated the sheep from the goats in this game, and well done to both teams. It was entertaining, it was fast paced, it was no holds barred, and a really good competition between the Mudmen and the Cassowaries. Early in the week we didn't think it'd be the Cassowaries, we thought it'd be the ducks out there playing with the amount of water. H and I still are drying off our shoes from when we had to paddle through 200 metres of water around up to my knees. So when it's up to my knees, it's up to H's chin. He was doing the breaststroke. And when we were walking through, these 2 rats started swimming with us. They were getting out of the containers too, so it was a bit like Noah's Ark there on Monday, but we got through, we've recovered, we washed our skin very carefully in case we got any bad infections, but now we've got a beautiful day on our hands and a beautiful game of cricket. So congratulations to the coaches, Coach Gilapala, and of course a victorious coach, John Olvia, or J.O. as we like to call him. We've got KP versus J.O. I actually call John brother of Lucy. I call him Bold, okay, because he is Lucy's brother, famous slower. I think he's writing me a note. He's writing in French. We're going for a break now, guys, and we're going to go to the highlights session here. So thank you for that game. If the afternoon game's as good as the game we had just then, we'll be very, very happy. And we're very happy because it's a lunch break, and I think Margaret has got some food for us. Is that right? H and I are going to smash it out. We just hope it's chicken and rice, because she cooks a good chicken and rice. Of course, there's the worm, guys. Thank you for listening. Be here this afternoon. Of course, get down here to the ground on Sunday, because it's going to be an absolute ripper day. We're going to have the grand final. We're going to have presentations. There'll be lots of people here, and we want you to come and see some classy cricket on Sunday. Thank you.